Can I be seen? Oh yeah, I forgot. Filters. Where's that one I like? Oh, these are crap. Let's go. I mean, I guess. There we go. I think I should be good. Alright, cool. What's going on, guys? Can you hear and see me? Or no? Am I all good? Let's see. Okay, that should be fine. Can we hear me? Can we see me? Oh yeah, I forgot. Ugh. I keep forgetting YouTube isn't as sophisticated as, hold on. There's just absolutely no way for me to make the I can make myself bigger, that works, but I can't make the chat bigger. That's so unfortunate. That is such an oversight. That is such an oversight. But yeah, what's going on, guys? How we doing? NATO's first today. Sorry, tough grit. Tough grits. Tough grit. NATO's first. Respect indeed. Hey, Dimitri, what's going on? Yeah, it does. They do send notifications on YouTube. NK TikTok lives anymore? Oh no, I still do those whenever I have the time. TikTok actually lifted their little suspension on me after I complained to a representative. And they're like, "You're right, it was too harsh. We'll give you back your TikTok live access." So I got it back, but I told everyone I was going to come here today, so I am. Directly. Let's see. Mod you here? Sure. Do you add as moderator? There we go. Cool, you should be good. All good? Awesome, awesome. Good to hear. Shout out to you two for coming through for the with the notifications. Hell yeah. Hey, sup, Pelly? How you doing, Casanova? Oh, is that your name here? Not back? Bet. Hey, how you doing, Pookie? What's going on? I prefer TikTok too, honestly. From my end, it's easier to use. But I did give my word I was going to be here today, so we're going to rock it here today. It has been a while. We've gone straight to YouTube anyway, so. Plus, I got to upload the one from yesterday here, so you guys hold me accountable to that, okay? Do you think Daniel Larson is guilty? I have no idea who that is. Who's Daniel Larson? What did he do? Oh, actually, before I start answering questions, gotta take off the cool boy glasses. I am no longer Jace. Right? I am Base. Your friendly neighborhood gang nerd. So now I can answer questions. Because Base knows all. Alright, what was that question I just saw? Oh yeah, I gotta scroll back up. How the game treating these days? Pretty good, actually. Pretty chill. I'm not gonna lie, I've been a lot more focused on, you know, business related stuff, serving you guys, creating stuff in the background that, like, you know, help you guys with and all that stuff. So it's just me and my little clan, my little crew. I honestly, like, I'll stop talking to a lot of the rotation because, you know, a lot of my time is going into this. So, you know, it happens naturally. Hey Jace, how long do we have until you up the price for the interview? Days, a matter of days. Because I'm waiting for it to drop for everybody, all the updates to drop for everybody. What's the best way about responding to a woman saying she wants to eat out or to eat out, eat in general? Like, I don't get. Find out what she can't eat and decide for her. Like, she can't eat chili or meat, etc. Oh, okay. So she's saying she wants to eat. You can find out if if it's that important. You can find out what she prefers or what she's not comfortable with. If she has any weird dietary restrictions, most hot girls do. Find those out. But the eating part is not as important as the when and where. The logistics is far more important than the actual thing you're gonna do or the food you're gonna eat or whatever like that. You should more take the lead when it comes to actually planning the date. Okay, that's the most important part. Let's see. YouTube is way superior. I have to get used to it. I'm straining myself to read tiny letters because I went to go Google real quick how to increase the size of the font here on the chat fonts. On TikTok, you just swipe to the left and everything's much bigger. Here, I would have to change the font size of my entire phone, which I refuse to do. So yeah, my phone is a very delicate ecosystem. I'm not trying to fuck with that for the sake of YouTube Live, but we move, we move. I like to talk about protector versus provider types. Where did you get it from? I kind of created that model myself. Not kind of. I did create that model myself, but it's just a new model for understanding the different archetypes of men, as far as how women interpret these men from an evolutionary standpoint point of view, right? The idea of the bad boy and the nice guy has always existed. The idea of certain men being more, and I hate these words, more alpha or beta have always been in existence. I'm just using words or certain phrases and ways to describe those things that's more to the point, if that makes sense. When I call a man a protector type or a provider type, it's more to the point. Because bad boy and nice guy are a little too vague, at least in my opinion. What is a bad boy? What is a nice guy? Well, a bad boy is a protector type, and a protector type is a man that demonstrates the ability for protector type behavior, the ability to take risk, the ability to be disagreeable, the ability to keep himself safe from her, and as a result, keep her safe from the world. That's the protector type. Provider type is the guy who isn't willing to take as many risks or take any risk at all, isn't as disagreeable, and as a result isn't someone that can keep her safe as well. So he's going to have to overcompensate with provisioning, because that's really how it comes down, right? When a man doesn't actually have the ability to keep a woman safe and protect her, which is what women primarily want, what they're attracted to, right? On a biological level, that is what women are seeking out in men, the ability to protect her, the ability to keep her and her offspring safe. So when a man doesn't have that ability, right, usually the way to overcompensate for that, or at least a way they try to overcompensate for that, is to begin to become more of a provider. The provisioning part needs to be set, right? So no sex appeal, use likability and kindness and agreeability, and that usually makes up for it, or at least that's what they think. That's not actually how it works, but you get the point. That's what that model is about. It's just helping you guys understand it, better. Let's see. Heck yeah, what's going on, Joshua? Now we can talk all freaky. Indeed. I don't got TikTok. We need the game in these YouTube streets. Oh, word. Fair enough. Fair enough. How you feeling about the Trump assassination attempt? I already talked about that yesterday. He's a G, first of all. He's a G. He did everything that he was supposed to do and show the world that he is the kind of person that can survive adversity. I don't care what you believe politically, where your political beliefs lie. The man took a bullet to the air, and when you get hit like that, especially with something that you suspect is a gunshot, and you don't really know what's been hit, like really understand the context of that moment. He didn't even know if he got hit in the brain. He didn't even know if he was leaking brain matter and blood, right? So the fact that his initial reaction to getting hit like that was to give the people a symbol of strength and hope. That's strength. That's courage at its finest. That is, in picture perfect form, the best way to exemplify what America is all about. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that as a Nigerian. It's fucking dope. It's fucking inspiring. I hope And I pray that one day we have leaders like that in my country. It's fucking dope. Because I know for a fact no Nigerian politician right now is willing to risk their lives for our country. The way Donald Trump just showed he's willing to risk his life for his ideology and for America. You know what I mean? It's pretty dope. It's pretty fucking dope. Well done to him. As for the actual, like, him getting assassinated part, or someone trying to assassinate him, look, man, it's inevitable. It's inevitable. When you come out and speak against the the social order, the group think, as it's called, the job of the world is to stifle you and to resist you and to make you go away for several reasons. One, they're jealous that there's a person that doesn't abide by the same rules as them, right? People who are in bondage and captivity are always going to be jealous of people who are free. It's one way to look at it. Another different aspect of it is the fact that Donald Trump inspires people to see things differently, which the set social order cannot afford to have. If more people within the, as people call it, the matrix, begin to open their eyes to see how things actually work and their place in the matrix, they're gonna begin to act differently. And the people that benefit from that don't want that to happen, you know? So whenever you speak out against power, whenever you speak truth to power, usually your life is in danger. That's just how it's been since the beginning of time. Jesus Christ, I would say, is the first man, in the first most important person anyway in history to get canceled. And back then it wasn't just delete your social media accounts and make your life miserable. It was hang you on a fucking cross, right? He was the first. Then there's Martin Luther King, Malcolm X. In Nigeria, we have someone like Femi Anikulakuti, essentially the creator of Afrobeats, right? So he was also very notorious for his willingness to speak truth to power and just think outside of the normal social order of things, right? Then we have Nelson Mandela. Nelson didn't die, but he did get in prison for a long time. And then, I mean, as recently we have people like Andrew Tate, Donald Trump. It is what it is, and it'll happen to me too. By the way, don't get it twisted. If I keep going down this road, which I fully intend to, people from within the matrix are gonna attack me. It's gonna happen. It's inevitable. It's gonna test my resolve. It's gonna make sure that I believe in what I'm talking about and what I'm saying, and it's also gonna, discourage others within the matrix, within the natural social order, to not subscribe to the things I'm saying. They're gonna use labels like crazy and misogynist and scammer. Get ready for all that. It's all gonna happen, and I've already made my peace with that. Every single person that I admire has gone through this fire. It comes with it. If you're gonna be a thought leader, if you're gonna be someone that doesn't go about doing things the way everyone else does, it's inevitable. It's fucking inevitable. So get ready for that. Let's see. I saw Todd V say you should compliance test a chick straight after a shit test. Do you agree? If true, what should we do after passing a shit test? Todd V would never say that. Todd V would never say that. He's smarter than that. And I'm pretty sure I've heard him say the exact opposite. He wouldn't say that. He would say, because again, he's smart and he has experience. He knows what he's talking about. He would say the exact same thing I say. Maybe not in the same words, but essentially the same thing. When you're met with resistance, deal with the resistance first. Pass the shit test. Just focus on passing the shit test first. Then you can create that room for, reconciliation with the compliance test. That's what you should do. Deal with the shit test first. It's the most important part. That's what's up, fam. Got to get to the paper. Indeed. Just be a planner so it all goes smoothly. In terms of like setting up the date, yes, be a planner, but more importantly, just take charge. Just make sure you're the one leading the interaction. You feel what I'm saying? Yo, it's base. Yes, it is. It is base. What's going on, Fish Army? Are those the recording glasses TikTok PWA people use? No, but I do have a pair. So if you're wondering why I'm so confident in the interview, you just found out. Those things are useful if you want to create good infield footage. I got an original pair that we're honestly just a bunch of cheap fucks. Uh, Very similar to these actually in terms of like the frame, and yeah, I got those. Didn't like the quality on them. The video and the sound were going out of sync whenever I replayed the videos. Didn't like them, so I got a better, more expensive pair. And then yeah, those ones are fucking fantastic. I just have to remember to charge them. But yeah, they're great. They're great. Let's see. Uh, Rolo call them alpha and beta. Don't get caught up on them. These are just placeholders to describe a certain type. Fair enough. I'm not getting. I'm gonna try not to get caught up. It's just the words alpha and beta have left a bad taste in my mouth because of the people that have used them. But you're right though. I probably shouldn't let those people define in my mind, you know, what those words are and how they should be used. So yeah, you're right about that. What's going on, Pookie? How you doing? How you doing, Ryu? Let him cook. Let me cook indeed. I appreciate that. Jacelyn is crazy. Got the number of a girl. Apparently she's a virgin. Anything I should keep in mind? She's good looking, by the way. Apparently she's a virgin. Apparently. Okay, let me ask you this, right? Just for the sake of, being Mr. Devil's Advocate, right? When the topic of her being the virgin came up, how did that happen, right? Because the way it starts, the context is important, right? The way the topic of her being a virgin comes up is very important. Because did she volunteer the information? Very suspicious, right? Did she find a way to lead the conversation into her status, if you want to call it that? Or how did that happen? Did you ask her? What happened there? I want to know. Because a woman volunteering that kind of information out of nowhere, isn't that suspicious? Shout out to Dr. Umar, that crazy motherfucker. Let's see. If I took off my earrings at home because my dad hates my piercings, did that make me a provider type? Take note, I'm Nigerian, and I still live with my parents. When I got my piercings, I was still living with my parents, and I had to hide my piercings for like the first, I want to say 3 days, because I got studdeds when I got them, right? And I thought I would just get again, I knew nothing about piercings. I just knew I wanted piercings. So I thought I would just get the holes and come back home. And they're like, no, you got to keep them in there for a minute. And then I began to regret, like, oh shit, you should have told me that before we put these in. I would have preferred we put like more, like tinier, unnoticeable ones. And then she's like, oh, you should have told me something. Didn't realize that was important to you. Sorry. But whatever. So for the first 4 days, I was like just hiding them, to be honest. And then I had the same moment you're having now. That same moment of like, wait, am I being a bitch about this right now? Am I being a bitch? What? So I took off my hoodie. Literally, it was around the winter when I got them. And I would wear hoodies all the time and just cover my head with them, right? That was how I was hiding them. And the excuse obviously being, I'm cold. It's cold outside. It's snowing. I can't, I'm just cold. I'm cold like that. Are you sure the heat is on? It's very hot in the house. No, I'm cold, man. I'm cold. But then after 4 days of that, I just realized, man, I'm a little bitch. This is stupid. So I took my hoodie off. And then my mom saw them, and she had the reaction I expected her to have. And yeah, it just became a thing of like, just stand your ground. Like, it is what it is. I have the piercings. Go on, remove them now. Nope. Can't take them out, man. Sorry. No, it's in there. Nope. How many did you get? 1, 2. Because I got all these, by the way, on the same day. Right? I wasn't no bitch about getting the piercings. Someone was like, you should get one and see how you feel. Like, fuck that. I already know what I want. I want 2 here, 2 here. I want 1 up here. Right? And yeah, I got them all on the same day. Like, literally seconds between each other. Bad idea, by the way. The healing process was terrible. And literally a few months after that is when I started jiu-jitsu. Not even kidding. So, just bad idea. Like, I was grappling with these still healing with no headgear. Stupid. Don't do that, children. Don't do that, boys and girls. That's stupid. But that's what I did. So, yeah. That was literally how I went about it. Just come to that conclusion that you can't keep living your life in accordance to them. You can't. You can't continue to live your life in accordance to what your parents want of you and for you. If you do that and you allow yourself to be a tool they use to live vicariously through, you're going to become their dream, not yours. You're going to regret every second you spent dedicating to making them happier with you than making yourself happier with you. Okay? Stop being a little bitch. Take the piercings and be like, look, this is what I did. And then just brace yourself for whatever comes with it. And it's African parents, right? They'll yell, they'll scream, they'll threaten, they'll bring the hammer down. Hell, they might even hit you, right? You know how violent our parents get. But fuck it, you got your shit to do. And then when I went through that, because that was like the first step. After that, the dreads came through, the fucking beard came through. Like I'm still surprised I haven't gotten a tattoo yet. I'm still surprised personally. I mean, I want to be very intentional about my tattoos because I do intend to get like a lot. I'm gonna treat my tattoos the same way I treat my piercings. I don't want to go, ooh, this piece and come back and that. Like fuck that. We're getting 2 sleeves on the same day. Like I don't have time to fucking. If at all we have to come back for a second session, it's to just get it colored in. But that's about it. Like I like getting shit done. But anyway, yeah, that's the mindset. Just stop being a little bitch. Okay? You can't live under their roof forever. You can't live by their rules forever. YouTube needs you. We're grateful for you, JCP. Oh, thank you. The assassination was predicted 3 months ago. It's almost crazy to believe someone prophesied it. I saw several prophecies from several pastors, both here in America. I saw a Brazilian pastor talk about it. I saw several West African pastors talk about it. 2 Nigerian pastors, 1 Ghanaian, 1 Cameroonian pastor, I believe. Like a bunch of people like were dropped, because that's how the spiritual realm works, right? Everyone gets dropped the exact same piece of information, and if your eyes are open enough and you got a high enough rank, you can catch the message. You can catch it, like, because it'll drop through all the realms. By the time it gets to the physical, anyway, like before it gets to the physical, the signatures are all resonating from like the higher realms all the way down. So yeah, a lot of people caught it. Shout out to them. Shout out to them. That's how you know their spiritual eyes are open. And honestly, if a lot of you are in tune with your spirit, you probably got the same message too. You probably got the same one too. Maybe not in the same way. Maybe you didn't see it as directly, because it's never as direct. You're not gonna, unless you're very in tune, you're not gonna see a clear vision play out in front of you. Those are for like the motherfuckers that they know what the hell they're doing in that other realm. For most of us, it'll drop more like a weird dream that plays out in your sleep, or a weird out-of-body experience that might happen in the space of a minute, or a weird deja vu sequence that happens in the world here, but you realize that it wasn't supposed to happen to you. For those of you that have experienced this, you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, some of us got word of it. I didn't know it was going to get straight up assassinated. I thought he was going to get attacked. That's what I was saying. I thought like, okay, someone's probably going to rush up on stage and get him, or like, double leg him or something. But yeah, I would have never seen the whole grazing his ear thing coming. That's crazy. That is crazy. Yeah, assuming it wasn't catch. It wasn't catch. Please. If you believe that was staged, you don't understand how synchronicity works. All the things that would need to happen for that happened the day before yesterday to happen as perfectly as it did would have to be practiced for months for it to actually make sense. But the way it happened, that can't be practiced enough. You feel me? Trump is a protector type. One of the purest ones, honestly. Like, yeah, that if you guys want to have a good example of what a protector type is, that motherfucker. Him. I recently found out that I'm severely lacking stamina, and I'm out of shape. What did you do to increase your stamina both inside and outside the bedroom? Get fit. Get fit. Running is a good way to start. Sprinting in particular, because it's not the how long you run that really matters when it comes to building your stamina. It's the how intensely can you run for a long period of time, right? Doing sprints as often as possible. Having high intensity workouts, athletically based workouts that force you to move ideally your entire body, right? Have a specific movement for your entire body that you repeat over and over again in a certain number of reps, and doing it at a high intensity with as much energy output as possible, and then increasing your reps in that. Right after every exercise, you should genuinely feel like you can feel your heart beating out of your chest and you're about to die. Right, that's how you should feel. That's how you improve your stamina over time. Right, if you just want to improve stamina, not just like improve your muscle or anything like that, or improve your shape or your aesthetics or get leaner. All those other things require their own wisdom. But if you want to improve your stamina, you want to do high intensity workouts for a long period of time. You know, that's what you do. Um, how do you beat the "you're too young for me" shit test? You'd be like, oh no, don't worry about it. My last girl was around your age, right? The reason they say that is just to test your confidence. So all you got to do is just be like, oh, I'm used to women like you. I'm used to women around your age. And honestly, you're right, but you're right within my cutoff mark. If you were about 3 or 4 years older, that'd be too old for me. But you're right within where I'm used to. So lucky you. That's how you deal with it. Sir, why your glasses have no glasses? I don't know what you're talking about. These glasses are perfectly fine. It helps me see better. So Donald actually God. Oh, I don't know about God. Well, not God Almighty, but he is a God. We all are. He's just one of the few human beings that have recognized his own godliness, if you will. But yeah, let's see. Alright, so Big Man Ting, yeah. That's funny. Speaking of Alpha and Beta, what did Jesus mean when he said, I am the Alpha Omega? And what are those things people refer to as Alpha and Beta? So, Alpha and Beta, as far as people are concerned, or the way people use those words, is that is a big ass. That better not fucking fly in my car. I will fucking. That was a wasp or something. Anyway, what people refer to when they talk about alpha and beta is the archetype of men in terms of like their level of strength and confidence. Alphas are said to be the more aggressive, more proactive, more leadership type men. Betas are said to be the men that are the followers or the collectives, the pack guys, the guys that aren't as strong or brave or as courageous to take the lead, right? That's as far as people are talking about alpha and beta. Now, when Jesus talked about being alpha omega, that really had nothing to do with the way we use those words. That has more to do with beginning and the end. Those are like, where do those words actually come from? Those are Greek words, right? Alpha, beta, theta, sigma, omega. Those are all Greek words. So when Jesus called himself the Alpha and the Omega, he was talking more about how God he is, the beginning and the end, the one who has seen it all, the one who has been it all and been through all, the truly what's the word I'm looking for? Omnipotent, omniscient, an all-encompassing God. That's what he meant when he said Alpha Omega. That's an entirely different thing. Okay. If blacks built the pyramid in Egypt, let them don it again. What's don it? Do it? Is that what you meant to say? With their black genius, it will be no problem. Why are we talking about the pyramids? Huh? Oh, is this like one of those racist things? Like, oh, if black people are so smart, then why can't they build the pyramids again? Well, I don't know what to say, Mr. Racist Man. Like, what would that do for anybody? There's way more important problems to solve in the world. Like, we got AI now. That's way more impressive in many ways of looking at it than the pyramids. So, yeah, I wouldn't worry too much about pyramids right now. If you're questioning the intelligence of black people, hey, you're entitled to believe what you want to believe, man. I don't know. If you want me to be honest, me personally, I'm Nigerian. I come from a culture of black people where we actually prefer it when people think we're dumb because, they're just easier to take advantage of at that point. But hey, you didn't hear that from me. E.g. Andrew Tate. Yep, Andrew Tate. How do you check a girl without getting disrespectful? Oh nah, don't. First of all, if you're asking me how to do something disrespectful without being disrespectful, that's your first mistake. You're checking her. You're checking her, right? You're getting her to cease behavior you don't want to see anymore. Ain't no respectful way to do that shit. And the moment you start thinking from a place of let me go about doing it in a respectful way, you take away all the power from it. And you need the power to do it. You see what I'm saying? It's like saying, how do I, what other thing can you do that's just, it doesn't work when you try to be paradoxical with it. Um, how do I point a gun at someone without threatening their life? You know, how do I do that? How do I point a gun at someone without threatening their life? It's like the moment you do that, the very act of doing that, that's exactly what you're doing. That's why these movies where they have someone like this, like, oh, I'm so sorry to do this. That's not real life. In real life, if someone did that to you or me, like in particular, anyway, someone did that to me, it was like, I'm sorry, I'm bum rushing and I'm taking that gun because I know you're not gonna do it. You just told me through your actions, I don't want to do this. I'm gonna bum rush you, and I'm gonna take that shit. You know, in real life, the moment you point a gun at someone, you're telling them through your actions, this is a threat on your fucking life. Do what I say or else. You know what I'm saying? So no, there's no respectful way to check a bitch. Just check the bitch. Hey, if you do this shit again, we are through. That's the last time you do that. That's how you check a bitch. Don't worry about being respectful. Okay? Let's see. Also, yeah. How do you make it? I already answered that one. Uh, uh, we watch yo. Where but I have. I'm sure you meant something by that, but I don't think the spelling is correct. Write that again for me, Lino. Um, and also, how do you check for respect? Check for respect, like actually measure her respect for you. Is that what you're saying? Compliance tests. That's what compliance tests are for. She respects you, she'll comply. Have you escaped the matrix? Yes. Does respect even matter that much? And what way does it matter? Respect is the whole point of fucking what? Doesn't matter. What? What? Re- Respect is the most important ingredient in running any relationship. Like, I really need you to understand this. No respect, no relationship. Done. Over. No, I'm gonna say it again. No respect, no relationship. Your respect, like the respect she has for you, is the currency you use to keep being the leader in the relationship. That, like, it's that important. Like when we talk about stuff like building tension, creating anxiety, increasing her sense of urgency, you want to know what all those things naturally do in the background? Increase her respect for you. They all do that naturally. Because the moment the respect disappears, the relationship is gone. It's gone. So yes, it's that important. It's very important. For us who rock with Jace, those are close to the tribe. You should know that we will be attacked by the Matrix too. Indeed, indeed. What did Jesus say? These signs shall follow them that believe. Right? In my name you will be persecuted. Right? That's the same thing I want to tell you guys. If you decide that you're gonna be associated with me, that's what comes with it. And by the way, this is something I tell you guys. It's something I tell even the women in my life. This is what happens. Don't expect this to be a smooth, easy ride. No. There will be dark days. There will be days where people come for us. There will be days where the world tries to stifle us and destroy us and mock us and make fun of us. It will happen. It's inevitable. It's inevitable. But I want to tell you right now, in advance, forgive them, for they know not what they do. All right? They're just doing it because maybe someone riles them up into thinking that they're doing the right and just thing. You know, because that's the beauty of human beings, right? They do everything thinking they're the good guy. That's the most dangerous part of the human condition, is that even the bad guys think they're doing the right thing. You know? But yeah, that's what comes with it, baby. It is what it is. It's financial breakthrough actually escaping the matrix. It's a sign of it. It's a sign of it. You gotta understand what being rich is, or gathering wealth is, accumulating money. It's a sign that you've, to some degree, cultivated the ability to awaken yourself. That's really what being rich is all about. It's not even like, yeah, the freedom, the money, that all that shit is cool. It's fun, but what really matters about being rich is that to some extent, well, depending on how you get rich anyway, but to some extent, it shows that you've been able to defeat yourself and conquer yourself and win more consistently than you lose. Because the real battle isn't with some outside entity. It's not with women. It's not with the government or the other political side of the spectrum, or or people of color, or white people, or immigrants, or even criminals. It's the enemy is not some outside entity outside of yourself. The enemy is you. That is the basis of my philosophy. Right? Someone accused me of being a cult leader that's using an us versus them mentality. And you're goddamn right, I am using an us versus them mentality. But the them is not anyone else. It's you. Right? That's why I keep telling you guys, it's useless to blame women for anything, or to try to put the fault or accountability on them. First of all, they're fucking brilliant at dodging accountability, so good luck with that. Second of all, it benefits you nothing by making it women's fault. Make it yours. Real salvation, true salvation, and freedom is self-accountability. You feel me? So, the beauty about getting rich is that in order to get rich, to a large extent, and again, depending on how you decide to do it, the way to do it is that you self-actualize to some degree. You defeat yourself in terms of like your own shortcomings, your own fear, your own lack of discipline and focus. You do that just enough to be able to get the marketplace to give you the compensation you deserve. That's why being rich is awesome. That's why you can call being rich a good way to escape the matrix. But trust me, it's not the only way to escape the matrix. And it's not the only thing you have to do to escape the matrix. You know? There's a lot of guys that are very rich. Very rich. Some of them are my clients. But up until they met me, they were still trapped in the matrix when it came to relationships, or social dynamics, or having healthy interactions with the opposite sex. Right? All the money in the world, all the freedom, right? They can buy back their time, good for them. But still very, what did the red pill guys call it? Still very blue pilled in their thinking when it comes to women. Very less than ideal expectations of women. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, get rich though. It's important. Can you make a leadership or dominance guide too, brother? Thanks. Gonna go to class now. No problem, man. Go to class. Enjoy. Leadership, dominance. I'll probably make a video about it. It's really not as complex as people make it out to be. Is it the dreads? That's funny. I noticed, by the way, you're good at remembering our names, looks, and situations from the mods. Of course. Duh. Would I forget my... What? Would you guys expect me to forget my own mods? The fuck? That would be weird, right? Even for someone with bad memory, it would be weird to forget my own crew. Duh. Bro, we need more content of you interacting with women. Hook us up, man. You lazy, sexy asshole. I wish I could call myself lazy. Oh, well, I still think I am, depending on the standard of person you're measuring me against. But absolutely, that's what we're getting to. You know, these things. they have a process to them that frankly I find annoying. But yeah, we got to protect ourselves from all fronts before we start doing all those things. Legally and socially and all these different things. So let's go through the processes correctly, and then we can start doing that. How do girls perceive you with glasses? I don't like mine. Uh, usually I'm not wearing these glasses. If that's what you're asking. I'm usually wearing these glasses, or these other glasses. Where's my other? Did I bring them? Yes, I did. These other glasses, the aviator shades, and they perceive me like a sexy motherfucker. Well, honestly, they would perceive me like a sexy motherfucker even if I was wearing this, because I'm sexy regardless. Sorry, but yeah, it's not the glasses that make the man. It's the man that make the glasses. It's never like the article of clothing is a clue into who you are, or at least that's what people think, right? They perceive you or make judgments and quick assumptions about you depending on the things that they see you wear. That's fair, but end of the day, when you're approaching a woman and you're talking to her one on one, she gets to have an actual feel for you. I cannot count how many times I've had a girl tell me, you know what, you turned out very differently than you look, right? Like in a way of saying, like, I didn't expect you to be that, respectful or charming or intelligent by the way you look. And I always say the same thing every time they say that. Uh, did you just call me too smart for my sexy, you bitch? It's a joke, So that's the point. It's like they'll make assumptions about your looks, and then they still get to meet you as a person. That's why I always keep telling you guys, don't worry about first impressions. They don't matter as much as you think they do. The impressions that happen afterwards are the most lasting. Yeah, feel me? Bro, why you want us to read Rolo's books if he's a beta? Is it for jokes or... I never called Rolo a beta. In fact, I have a lot of respect for Rolo. Honestly, he's one of the major fathers of the red pill. Right? It's him, it's Rushvi, and forget the other one's name. But Rolo's one of the pioneers. I mean, he started out in pickup, if that gives you any background into who Rollo Tomasi is. Well, Rollo Tomasi is, his writer name. He has a real name, which I won't say here. But, yeah, he started out as one of the guys that would, build forums and write articles and forums on the internet for, like, pickup and stuff like that. He was always adding, his bit of experience to it, lay reports, all that kind of stuff. Well, not a lot of lay reports, but later reports and all that. And he was essentially what, back in the day as pickup artists, we would call a theory junkie. That's what the red pill is. That's why the red pill looks the way it does. It's a bunch of theory junkies. It's a bunch of guys that come up with, their own hypothesis for how interacting with women works and how women are and female nature and all these things. But they rarely have the balls to go out and practice, right? So that's really the major downfall with most, whatchamacall I just said the name too. Theory junkies, right? So Rolo started at him and these two other guys that also have the letter R as their first letter of their names, of their code names anyway. And then, yeah, the red pill was born. What you guys now know as the red pill, well, maybe not the way you know it as today, but the initial seedling of the red pill, that was how it was created. And then down the line, it only just improved, and it was really good. Like, one of the best books on the red pill and understanding female nature is Rolo's The Rational Male. Who's out here committing crimes? Or is that an ambulance? I can't ever tell the difference. I think that's an ambulance. Who's out here dying? I probably shouldn't laugh at that. Lord forgive me. But Rolo started the red pill, and it's only gotten better. And then one of the best books in all of red pill history is definitely the book in his Rational Male series called The Rational Male Preventive Medicine. It's a great book. I don't tell you to read that for no reason. Literally go and read that book. It's a game changer. It's right up there in terms of eye opening with like Sperm Wars and the Mystery Method. I'm not kidding. It's a very good fucking book. Read that shit. Honestly, It's the most popular in his series, but my favorite in that series, in the Rational Male series, is Religion. I think he put his foot in Religion. Religion is a great fucking book. Go and read Rollo's idea of how, social constructs have come about as a result of evolutionary function. It's fucking brilliant shit. It's really good. It really is. Here's my problem with the red pill, or at the very least, how the red pill is being used. Because the ideology itself is good. I've never shat on the red pill itself. I've never shat on Rollo, because Rollo knows what the fuck he's talking about. I've only ever shat on the way the red pill ideology is being used and handled. I'll give you an example, and this is an example I use all the time. It's like, we understand female nature thanks to the red pill, but the way you apply it is more an indication of who you are and how you function through the world than anything else. So when you hear these fresh and fit guys talk about, for instance, okay, my girl can never have an Instagram or social media, and then you ask them why, and then they say, oh, it's because we know from female nature that if women have social media, they're using it as a way to advertise themselves. They only ever use social media as a way to advertise themselves to other men. So it's better to have a girl that doesn't have social media, or if she has social media, make sure she deletes social media for you, right? Okay. Sounds logical, and this is how the red pill gets you, or the way they use it anyway, these so-called red pill guys. It sounds logical. Now here's the difference between that and actual practical wisdom, right? Practical wisdom from years of actually doing this shit, dealing with women, understanding their nature. Here's what I know. If you tell a girl to delete her social media, and her social media is like full of, booty on the pics, booty on the sink pics, and the titties hanging out pics, and all those kind of stuff. Like, she's out here advertising herself. And you tell her to take away the social media. Does that make your relationship happier? Yes or no? It doesn't. Why? Because if a woman is going to advertise herself to other men, that means she has a need to advertise herself to other men. You telling her to take away her social media does nothing but block a certain channel that she can use to fulfill that need. But it doesn't actually do anything about the need. It's like putting someone, putting a girl or anyone in a building and setting the building on fire. Now they have motivation to leave the building, right? Because it's on fire. They don't want to burn. They have motivation to get the fuck up out of Dodge, right? So then your solution to make sure that they stay in the building is to lock one exit. Oh yeah, I'm gonna just get her to lock this exit. No social media. Just close that exit. Guess what they're gonna do? Find a different exit. Jump out the window if they have to. And even if you can go through the painstaking amount of effort that it'll take to block every exit and seal that entire building, doors, windows, vents, and all, even plumbing, guess what? That person would be burning in that building, thinking with their very last thought, with their last breath, saying, I want to get out. They still want to get out. Do you get it? So the proper way to deal with it, the better way to deal with it, if you have wisdom and you choose to apply it, is to not worry about what outlets she's using to advertise to other men. You should worry more about why the fuck does she have the need to advertise to other men in the first place. When we start thinking like that, now we have a better grip on the situation. And we can get to the root of the problem a lot faster instead of trying to patch the fucking symptoms. Because her trying to post pictures on Instagram or Snapchat or wherever, that's just the fucking symptoms. That's not the real problem. That's not the real problem. And that's, when I look at the entirety of the way the red pill is being used by a lot of these guys on the internet now, it's just a bunch of guys trying to deal with the fucking symptoms, not addressing the problems. Now, granted, you would think what I'm saying would resonate with everybody, and everyone would be like, "Oh yeah, Jason, this is so smart. This is so true. You're right. Deal with the problem, not the." No, no. Most men will hear what I'm saying right now, and either find a way to get offended, not accept it, or call me crazy. You want to know why they do that? Because what I'm saying is harder. It's harder. It's fucking harder. Look at the way most men deal with their problems with women. In every way and aspect of it. You don't think it's weird how everyone has the exact same solution to deal with women and yet none of them have proof for how it actually works? Meanwhile, I do. You see how that works? You want to know why? Because I tell you guys to do the harder thing. I'm doing the hardest job in the world and telling you to do the hard thing. Fuck all that easy shit. Yes, it's way easier to just get her to delete her social media. Way easier to do that. Way easier to do that. But it's not going to solve your fucking problem. Deal with the problem. Why does your bitch want to leave? Why is she trying to replace you? And we both know the answer to that question, by the way, don't we? Because she's your girl. It's not like a girl you're dealing with and talking to from time to time. Like, this is your girl. If this is the context we're coming from, it's your girl. That means she wants you. Or at least she did. That's why she became your girl. So where did the want for you go? Where'd it go? See? Women should... I'm bringing up another example, right? Women should... sleep with their husbands and boyfriends more. I just think it's a woman's duty to make sure that they're sleeping with husbands and boyfriends a lot more often than possible. Because if she doesn't, someone else will. You like it when those Redpill creators say that shit, right? Especially the female ones, the female Redpill creators, they come out and tell you, I just feel like women should sleep with their husbands more. It feels good. I get it. It feels good to just say, women, fuck me more. But we both know that's not how it works. Attraction isn't a choice. The irony, by the way, is that the same Redpill guys would be the first ones to say attraction isn't a choice. So how can you blame the woman for not fucking you more often? Wouldn't the problem then be you? Wouldn't it be an issue with your sex appeal and your attractiveness? Because if you were sexy, you don't gotta tell her to fuck you. She will. Hell, you gotta fucking stiff arm that bitch like a Heisman Trophy. Push off, bucko. How many times I say push off, bucko to my bitches? Are you serious? See, but that's not what people resonate with. People want to hear the easy shit. Oh, just, these women just need to change. Modern women, it's modern women's fault. As if we as men didn't create the environment that they exist in. Women, modern women, American women. Meanwhile, there's evidence in the Middle East, right there in the Middle East, right, that if men create their own boundaries and structures, I mean, not to say that the Middle East is a good example, honestly. They've gone too fucking far to the other side. But at least they're showing you in real time that if you create a structure and an environment that doesn't allow for certain behaviors from women, then you won't see it. Hell, if you were to take one of these women here, and you take them to the Middle East, guess what's going to happen? I bet you anything they're in a burqa by the end of the week. So whose fault is it then? Is it the woman? Can we blame the women? The women that the same Redpill guys will tell you are reactive creatures? Are creatures that go by the environment? Right? Are naturally submissive? Are we going to blame the naturally submissive creature? Come on now. It's cause and effect. We're really going to blame the effect when the cause is like right there. It's very obvious. Once you start seeing things the way I do, I promise you a lot of what these Red Pill guys say, again, not the Red Pill itself, but the weird solutions and conclusions they come to as a result of it and their misunderstanding of it, it'll become very frustrating for you. That's why I go hard on them. That's why I fucking go in on them. Because the ideology itself is fucking beautiful. And it makes sense. But they suck. They suck at drawing their own conclusions. Because most of these guys are weirdos from high school that never got over their lack of bitches in high school. Mind you, I was bitchless in high school too. But I got over it. Because I practiced and I went out there and I figured it out. And I had a mentor to help me, obviously. But I figured it out, though. Right? I let that fucking hurt go. Because if you move through dealing with women and female nature from a place of, I'm hurt. It's going to affect the way you move. It's going to affect the decisions you make. And dumb shit is going to start sounding smart to you. It's annoying. And if at all I put any blame on Rolo, it's for allowing that to happen. Because it's his nest. It's his industry. He should be better than that. Like, those are all your boys. The Fresh and Fits and all those guys. It's your responsibility. It's your responsibility. You're better than that. Good book, though. Good books. But yeah, that's my little rant. Let's see. Oh, I gotta scroll back up. Let's see. You say to be more selfish, but Tate says to be kind and generous. I respect you both as mentors, but I'm conflicted. Tate says the exact same things I say. Like, here's what I say, by the way, and this is how I know you're probably newer here. When I say to be more selfish, for those of you that are like my OG followers, you know what I mean, right? What do I say is the most selfish thing you can do? To be selfless. Right? The most selfish thing you can do is to be selfless. The most selfish thing you can do is to help others without expecting anything in return. It's by far the most selfish thing you can do. And the reason that's the case is because of the law of reciprocity. Right? The most selfish, conniving, manipulative, evil thing you can do is to give to others and not expect or ask for anything in return. You want to know why? Because the law of reciprocity kicks in, and now they have to carry around with them a guilty conscience and the need to reciprocate with you, which makes them a victim of your manipulation. It's literally what I tell. I have an entire series called The Art of Manipulation, right? That's literally what I talk about. You want to manipulate someone? You want to put someone under your control? What are the principles to it? What are one of the major principles to it? You make that person feel like being manipulated by you is a good idea because they benefit from it more. Now, you might be a little confused. I understand. It sounds contradictory, but it's very simple. I promise you. It's very, very simple. The world can't respect you if you don't respect yourself. So you must place a certain level of priority on yourself. That's one. You cannot move through the world thinking of other people first. That's stupid. And I'm not even talking about it from the point of view of like, other people will take advantage of you if you think like that, which is true, by the way, but that's not even the most important part. That's not the worst part. The worst part is if you don't prioritize yourself, then you're not going to have enough within yourself to give to others. That's the worst part. So you must be selfish and look out for yourself and yourself first, because ultimately you being as selfish as you are benefits others. You see the point? I hope you do. It's not conflicting at all. They make perfect sense with each other. Selfistry and generosity are not opposites. And this is what people need to understand. I'm going to give you a very simple principle for the universe. There are no straight lines in the universe. Did you know that? Straight lines are not naturally occurring. Straight lines were essentially invented by man. Did you know that? There's nowhere in nature or the known universe where such a thing as a straight line or even worse, two parallel straight lines coexist. Like two straight lines that are just straight, and if you take them into infinity, they'll never touch each other. That doesn't exist. It's not real. Because everything in this universe works in cycles. It's all cyclical. All of it. So what we call a spectrum from this to this isn't really a spectrum from this to this. It's a cycle. It's one giant cycle. It's a shape. It's a spiral, almost. Maybe not a spiral, because that's not as, close-ended, but you get the point. It's a circumference. You notice how, if you go too far to protector type, you end up in provider type? I just hit y'all with one of the advanced laws of the game now. Pay attention. Pay attention. And it doesn't even make sense. Like, it doesn't sound like it makes sense. But if you go too far into a bad boy, you end up becoming a nice guy. Did you know that? I just blew your mind, didn't I? Or scrambled your brain, depending on how fast you caught up on that. You even see this with like political spectrums. You go too far into the left, into being a liberal, being a progressive. You go too far into the left, you end up in the alt-right. I'm not even kidding. Google this shit. People on the far left, ironically, have the exact same beliefs as people on the far right. They have them under different guises, right, and different excuses, and different ways to reach the conclusions, but they have the same beliefs. How interesting is that? How interesting is that? A communist and a fascist have a lot in common. Because the world is cyclical. It's the same with not just physical things, with ideas. Does that make sense? How that makes sense. Oh, that makes sense. Hi, good evening. Watching from Nigeria. Great job. Keep it up. Hey, what's going on, man? Shout out to the motherland, indeed. Yes, they can be smart, but if he isn't getting the results we want, why should we do what he says? You get me? That's fair. That's fair. But the knowledge itself, again, it's like it's a theory junkie. So I always say, whenever you listen to theory junkies, test everything, test it all, and the ideology itself is interesting and it's cool. Very, very little of it is actually practical. So the bit of it that is practical, test that. See how it works. And it's solid from what I've seen, though. It's solid. Oh, I teased her about being dangerous and killing her ex-boyfriends. She kind of was shy about it, but admitted she never had one. She's 18. So I asked, oh, are you a virgin? She admitted to be. I see. That's how you found out she's a virgin? Okay, that's fair. That's cool. But I wouldn't worry too much about that. She's around the age where she should be a virgin anyway. It's fine. It's fine. Just keep talking. If you want to deal with her, me personally, that would be like my cue to leave. Like, come back to me in another 5 years or so when you have some experience under your belt. They've caught me. I've been made. They were feisty for sure. Who caught you? Doing what? What are you doing? Jace, I gotta try and catch you on TikToks and not just here when you go live. Any tips for dance floor game? A super noisy, packed environment like that is new to me. That's fair. You know what I do? I like to do pattern interruptions and disruptions. So, the thing about dance floors and clubs in general is that it's always super high energy. Right? Super high energy, everyone's dancing, there's sweat and alcohol in the air and all that fucked up shit. What I like to do is I like to come in with the exact opposite energy. Think about it like what Kendrick Lamar did when Drake dropped, Family Matters? And he came right after a few minutes later with Meet the Grams. If you look at those two songs, it's very different energies. Family Matters, drop, 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 very bouncy, very hyper, and then Meet the Grams is like ding, 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 very creepy, very eerie, right? Kendrick did it on purpose, by the way, to cancel out the energy that Family Matters had. That's called a pattern interrupt, an energy interrupt, right? Do the same thing on dance floors. You know what I do? Here's my move. You can steal it from me now. Here's my fucking move on dance floors. I see a girl I like dancing. I walk up to her. I might tap her on the elbow a little bit just to get her attention. And then I'll hold my hand out like this, and she'll look at me and like usually put her hand in my hand, and then I grab her by the waist, pull her in, and I start slow dancing. Slow dancing with her. And then I start whispering in her ear. So what's your name, by the way? Right? Really imagine that. Like, picture that in your head and see what, like, aesthetically what that looks like. There's all these people around you. This person doing this, that person doing that. This girl dirty whining. These two girls grinding at each other because girls like to dance on each other. And then here I am, probably in the middle of that whole thing, and I'm just slow dancing. Probably slow dancing to something crazy like, let me hold you, come caress my body. You got me going crazy. Turn me on. Beautiful pattern interrupt. It brings the energy down for just you and her. It's almost like you go into your own special world when you do that. Right? And now you have an opportunity to have a level-headed conversation. Or just walk off from the dance floor after doing that for like a good minute. You talk to her, whisper, whisper, whisper for whisper, whisper for whisper. And then you're like, you know what? I can barely hear you here anyway. You want to go, over there for a second? I'd like to get to know you. And then lead her through the dance floor away. Now you're in a more isolated, more cool, more quiet environment or place in the club, and you're having a cool conversation. Go from there. Let me see. Is your specs missing lenses? No, they're not. Absolutely not. I got a date with this chick I knew from years ago. She's older and just broke up with her ex, but she's hella into me, sweetheart, with the willingness to be a siren. But the siren part is new to her. Oh, okay. Bring it more out of her. Bring it more out of her. Another reason why prior to running for president, he was a popular figure in the hustler category. You mean Trump? Yeah. As for any advice, well, you don't even know enough about the real problems in the relationship. Well, not problems, but like the real dynamics of the way you and her have conversations for you to really even ask me anything about that. Go on a date with this girl, see how that goes, and then come back. It's too early to start, telling. You have enough skills by now to just know how to run a date, so you'll be fine. Should I approach a 29-year-old woman the same way as any other on social media, or more safety oriented and all, because 27 to 32, they're looking for that? If not, how would you in front of game and back end? So you're too young to compete in that way. Trying to approach an older woman, yes, they're more safety oriented, or they're looking primarily for someone that's going to give them or provide them some kind of stability, right? That's true. That's what they're looking for at that point. But one, it doesn't mean that they're not women that are looking to have fun. Like, end of the day, they might say they're done with their party days and they're done with the bad boys, but that's what their vagina still responds to. It's biology. They can't help it. Attraction is not a choice. That's one. Secondly, how the fuck do you expect to demonstrate safety to her and stability to her? Like, she's not even going to believe you because you're too young to represent those things quite yet, or at least not in the same way or capacity. So approach her like the young, sex-raged addict that you are. Offer that, and I bet you she goes for it though. They do. Trust me, they do. It's fine. Oh yeah, let me mod you here, by the way. I don't know you. Tell moi. There we are. Oh, that's I don't know you. Tell moi. Jace, you need a retwist? I've never had a twist, much less a retwist. I think I saw someone comment that before, like, you need a retwist, listen, this is how my hair grows out of my head. I've never done anything to it. It's just how it is. And that's done on purpose, by the way. So, leave my hair alone. Y'all think I know all this shit by accident? Leave my hair alone, John. I beg you. I love you guys. Love you too, Estoy. The pastor of The Simpsons preached about it too. Of The Simpsons? That's hilarious. In the show, Trump raised his son correctly. Which one? He has like two or three, right? Day two of asking for the advanced laws. Please give us at least one of them, Poogie. I did. If you caught it, I did. Also, I still gotta send you that stuff on the introspection release. No Didio introspection stuff we talked about last time. You went live here. Gonna send it to your Insta soon, yo. Life changing technique, in my opinion. Oh yeah, go ahead. Did God Himself intervene in the assassination attempt on Trump? I really do believe so. When things like that happen that well, and only God has the ability to kill 12 birds with one stone. Does that make sense? When they say kill two birds with one stone, a human is only smart enough to do maybe three or four at the most. Only God can do 12, 13, 14. Because that one moment does so many things for not just Trump himself, but this country. There's no way anyone on this planet is smart enough to have calculated every minute detail that well. It's just no. God did that. God did that. You can explain from a scientific point of view. And by the way, this is something I always tell people that are men of science, because I'm a man of science myself. But understand that God cannot compete with science, or more specifically, science cannot compete with God, right? Science is not an intelligent entity that can go up against the creator of the universe. Science is just a methodology we use to understand the universe better as human beings. So you might understand the process through the use of science and its methodologies, but it doesn't mean it takes away the existence of the processor. Does that make sense? Just because I know how condensation works and how water moves in a cyclical motion throughout this entire world, right? From the ground to the sea to clouds and then back down as rain, etc., doesn't mean that the creator of that system doesn't exist. If anything, it proves that someone designed it. It's too well done. It's too well done. Right? So, yes, I'm definitely attributing everything that happened to Trump to God. That's God Himself intervening. God said, oh, let me have this happen. I'm going to let that happen, but I'm going to use that, though, for my glory and do this. And put that person over here. I'm going to make sure that he only gets up there right at the moment Trump is staring back from the stage looking at the chart he's showing people in Pennsylvania. I'm going to also make sure the sun is pointed right at that motherfucker's eye so he can't really see the target that well. So when he fires and Trump looks back at the chart, it grazes his ear. So at least people know. I want it to graze his ear, though. I don't want him to completely miss it. I want it to graze his ear. So people know how real the danger was. So the blood on his face adds the epicness effect to the picture he will eventually take when he's being rushed off the stage. And we have all seen that epic picture, right? But also to show people how close it was to not being a happy ending. Hell yeah, that's God. Hell yeah. God did that. God did. But I'll leave it to you to see if chicks for you. Thank you for everything you do as usual, dog. No problem, man. Jace Pooks, I got long ass arms and relatively normal short legs. Should I do boxing, kickboxing, BJM, or anything else? Long arms, short legs. That sounds like a wrestling build, honestly. I say wrestling and boxing for you, sir. Doing both of those will naturally help you with your MMA career. Because all MMA will teach you is how to mix those two things together. That's why it's called mixed martial arts, right? So, yeah. Boxing and wrestling for you. That one guy got it to the T. He literally said getting shot in the ear and Trump will win the election and American economy will drastically slow down soon too. Oh, good. I'm waiting for that part of the prophecy. I'm waiting for that part. I'm going to need a 2020 part 2. I'm sorry. I've been waiting. There's certain things that happen in the spiritual realm that happen in cycles. Again, this entire universe is cycles. The spiritual realm is no different. You gotta learn how to wait for your mark and wait for those cyclical opportunities to come again. I've been waiting for that repeat of 2020. The same energy that came with 2020, I'm gonna need that again. I'm gonna need that again. Yeah. Not because I'm happy of like the way it happened or how many people suffered or anything like that. But we are in desperate need of a reset of sorts on every level. Physical, geographical, financial. Shit needs to get cleared up. We have accumulated too much shit for the last 4 years. We need a reset. I'm gonna need the same thing that happened in 2020 to happen again. Let's go. I'm ready. Woo! Let's see. Started talking to this girl's Insta, bit of comfort, transition to tension, and switch to vulnerability, and then try to go back to tension right after in the same setting was disagreeable. Uh, she's now not talking to me. Should I comfort? Even your fucking line of transitioning makes no sense. Why? Why did you do that? Bit of comfort, then tension, then vulnerability. Why? Where's the compliance test? What happened there? Where's the opportunity for the compliance there? And then tension right after that, and then was disagreeable, which is just more tension. Like, you're all over the place. Why? Why? Tension, compliance, reward. Tension, compliance, reward. Comfort, reward. Tension, compliance, reward. Comfort, 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 reward. That's how it should be opening up as you go. But in the beginning, like a girl you meet on Insta, there should probably be no comfort in that stage. Not on Insta? No. Tension, compliance, reward. And then just go through that same cycle over and over and over again. And just use those points of compliance to get to the next stage. When you get a girl on Insta, your most important mission is to get her phone number. Nothing else. You're not trying to get to know the bitch. You're not trying to get to understand how her family dynamic works, how many dogs she has, where she went to. You don't give a fuck. Not right now. Now is not the time to build tension. You're simply creating enough tension in the moment to use as an excuse to create compliance from her, and then to reward that compliance. That's all you're looking for. That's it. Okay? By the way, I just started BJJ. Fucking loving it. Totally see the comparison the game like you spoke of. Thank you. I'm happy you're actually doing that. That's wonderful. Well done. And yes, very, very, very similar to game, isn't it? Very, very fucking similar. The philosophies kind of intertwine in that way. Guys, can we all agree that YouTube is better than TikTok? It depends on who you are, I guess. The dark game you dropped last night was damn good. Thank you, thank you. This is a little something for the boys, since the live yesterday got rudely interrupted by whoever the fuck. I'm blaming Melly, by the way. I don't remember her name for sure. I know it was her. But yeah, when next we see her, X her out. We don't need that kind of energy in our lives. Let's see. YouTube streams are superior. Where can we rewatch last night's streams? I have to upload that later. Will this be recorded? Oh no, I'll just leave it up once I'm done here. It's fine. That's the beauty of YouTube, though. I will admit to that. It does make it easier to drop it here on YouTube. Watch the video, The Abrahamic Experience, if you want the best intuitive argument for God. Oh, dope. I will. The Abrahamic Experience? Bet. Gotcha. Question. Has anyone ever told you that you look like Nico Williams with a beard? I have no idea who that is. I guess I'll go Google that too. Nico Williams. Jason Dimitri, what was the idea behind the school community, and what is it? What is the goal to grow into? I love it so far and want to see more. It's just a place for us to just exchange ideas and for me to give you guys things I can't give, in public. You got to be very careful what level of information you're giving out there. The kind of stuff I want to start dropping is not the kind of stuff that the world is ready for. You feel me? Alpha or Sigma, and would women date Sigmas? So let me remember what the fuck a sigma is again. A sigma is essentially like a lone wolf, right? Um, alpha sig. Ugh, God, I hate these words. Alpha sigma will woman date sigmas. Women will date all of them, even the betas, depending on what she's looking for and what she wants to use, and her quality. Obviously, I think alpha males get a certain quality of women. Beta males get a certain quality of women. Uh, theta and sigma males get a certain quality of women. It depends on what kind of woman you're looking for, though. Uh, do you accept Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior? Do you believe He was God incarnate? Yes. I also believe I am an expression of God on this plane of existence. Absolutely. Christ consciousness, baby. Let's see. Hey, bro, sit down. What do you think I'm doing? You think I'm standing right now? No more TikTok lives. I know. I'll go on TikTok from time to time. You believe in the Anunnaki people? How you feel about aliens? So the Anunnaki people are just another word for fallen angels. I don't know why anyone hasn't, or everyone. Well, I don't think everyone would know, but I don't know why a lot of people haven't figured this out yet. The Anunnaki are just a bunch of fucking fallen. Like all those stories people talk about the Anunnaki, they're on the Bible. You know that, right? They're all in the Bible. The Bible doesn't say the word Anunnaki. It uses a different word. Nephilim. Nephilim and fallen angels. Fallen angels liked the daughters of men, and they said, "We want those daughters, and now we're gonna go down there and take some for ourselves." And that all resulted into many different replications with those daughters of men, creating the half fallen angel, half human children, Nephilim. It also created a lot of wars between different factions that these different fallen angels were separated into. Right? All those things happened. There were wars on the earth because of the fallen angels. Like, because they would go to humans, they would take their daughters, some of them forcefully, right? Some of them just straight up kidnapped the bitches and just started reproducing. Others were a little more tactful about it. They went to the Son of Man and were like, listen, we have a bunch of information for you, advancement in technology, wisdom about the workings of the universe, skills and methods and technique about tapping into the spiritual realm better. We require payment for all this, though, so we require your worship and your daughters. Some of them did it that way. The others did it in the form of essentially possessing some of the humans. And by the way, these are all that's how they were able to essentially interact with the physical realm, is possession of some of the human bodies, right? And then they were able to garner favor in the eyes of other men in terms of like leadership positions and stuff like that. And then they would form armies and go in war against the other factions of fallen angels. That's what all those Anunnaki wars are about. It's just fallen angels fighting fallen angels. It's very funny. So God saw all that stuff and was like, "Yeah, we ain't trying to have all that. Hey Noah, yeah, do me a favor. Spend the next 75 years of your life building an ark. You're gonna put yourself, your family, and a bunch of different animals I tell you in it, and I'm gonna flood this bitch. Because I don't want to see none of these fallen angels and their daughters and whatever doing all this anymore. I'm tired. I'm tired of this. I've grown weary of this. So build me an ark, put all the things I want you to preserve in it, and then just wait. I'm about to flood this bitch. Reset. So yeah, that's what I think about it. Aliens are very real, but they're not extraterrestrial beings. They're interterrestrial beings that have existed here a lot longer than we have. Yes, they have. These aren't new beings. These are very, very old. Let's see. Although my question was kind of like, sometimes I got overly aggressive and scare girls off, so I wanted to be a more nuanced way to correct and guide behavior into a better direction, if that makes sense. In many cases, the fuck up may not be massive enough to threaten breaking up with her, or is that always the way we should go about it? Oh no. Oh, you're very right when you first said the solution is no way to just threaten breaking up with her. Obviously, women do a lot better under positive reinforcement anyway. Right? It's way more effective to encourage a woman's behavior when you reward it, as opposed to try to punish bad behavior. The cussing her out and making sure she never does something again, that's a very rare occurrence. Most of the time, it should just be like, babe, don't do that. Don't do it like that. Do this instead, right? I'd love you more if you did this. I'd get so hard for you if you did this. I would have no choice but to fall deeper in love with you if you did it this way. You know, that's how it should be. Just came back from football. What up? How you doing, man? Please note that Jason's talking about getting rich the right way. Should you try to cheat your way to the top, the universe will snap back at you, and it always does. Always does. Dimitri's very right about that. Money is an amplifier, as Tate says. If you're the man and obtain money, it rises you significantly. And the opposite is true as well. If you're not the man and you get money, all you become is a goofy with a lot of money. I'm looking at you, Drake. Say, Drake, I hear you like him young. You better not ever go to cell block 1. Don't let goofies get money, man. But most of the people with money are goofies. That's just the honest. You know, the majority of men who are rich, unfortunately, are just not cool motherfuckers. They're not cool. They're not cool. They're not socially calibrated. They have no idea how to be interesting outside of the one thing that they really, really know a lot about, you know? So, yeah. Get rich the right way. And by the way, when I say the right way, I mean serving others. End of the day, the best way to make money is to receive compensation from others for actual goods and services. Actual goods and services, not just perceived goods and services. As in solving real problems. Does that make sense? Solving real problems and relieving people of pain. That's the best value you can give to be compensated for. Okay? That's how it should work. Let's see. Lazy sexy ass, so isn't that what we call a push-pull? Yes, it's actually a very good push-pull. Yo, Blake, okay. Yo, Blake, okay. That's funny. What the fuck? Let's see. Hey, what's going on, Kofi? Been a while, brother. How you doing? Bro, wiser than the motherfucker. Oh, I gotta do my Snoop Dogg impression now. Bro, wiser than the motherfucker. I used to do such a good Snoop Dogg. What happened to me? See what they say? Practice makes perfect. To fail to practice is to begin to fail, you know? Are protector types and sweethearts more moral? No. Provider types and sweethearts are more moral. And by the way, their morality is bullshit. Right? Their morality isn't because they're good people. Their morality is because they're powerless. They have to be moral. Right? It's like, put it like this. Being attractive gives you the license to get away with bad behavior. That's why the bad boy is the bad boy. Right? Because he's disagreeable because he can get away with it. He has the confidence to get away with it. He has the survivability to get away with it. He just has a general self-belief. So he can get away with that kind of behavior. And because of how confidently he does bad behavior, he'll be allowed to get away with it. As opposed to the guy who has to survive by the graces of other people. He can't get away with bad behavior. He has to be moral. All right? Let me get something straight here. I'm not saying don't be moral. I'm not saying don't have a morality. Have a morality. But if you have to have a morality because if you don't, you won't be accepted by others, or if you don't, you can't survive the backlash from others, then are you really moral? Right? Because real morality is born from a place of power. It's choosing to do the right thing when you have the power to do the wrong thing. That's real morality. It's having the power to do straight evil, but also having the discipline to choose not to. As opposed to the person who has to be moral because they're scared of the consequences of not being moral. You see the point? So I have no respect for the so-called sweethearts and provider types, because they're the same person just in two different genders, right? It's the fucking pussy, the goofy guy that has to be a good person because he can't get away with being a bad guy. The the sweet church girl that has to be a sweet church girl because she's not sexy enough to get away with being a bitch, right? So I love bitches. I love women with resting bitch faces. I love rude bitches. I love nonchalant women. I love women that give you that hot girl blase like they don't care about your existence. I love those women. You wanna know why? Because that is the ultimate evidence that they are indeed not just attractive in looks, but attractive in self-esteem. They have a belief about themselves. Because only the women that think highly of themselves can get away with bad behavior like that. Well, not with me, of course. I know how to counter that. But a woman only behaves like that because they've gotten away with that kind of behavior over and over and over and over again. Sweethearts, right? The women who don't have the sex appeal to match, they can't get away with that behavior. So they're not going to try. By the way, this is something I talk about in pre-selection, in digital pre-selection a little bit. If you scroll online, like really do this, go on Tinder or Hinge, you notice something very interesting about the way beautiful women take pictures versus the way average to not so beautiful women take pictures. What do you notice? What's the one thing? Beautiful women don't give a fuck about smiling at the camera. In fact, they almost never do. But the average looking chicks, the not so good looking chicks, they have to be nice and accommodating. They have to smile and show you. Because when you don't have sex appeal, you have to overcompensate with niceness. It's the same with women as with men. It's just the difference between men and women is for men it's risk taking ability. For women it's sex appeal. Alright? But yeah, that's how it works. 25 of us watching, can we like the video? Oh yeah. Like the video, guys. It's like 19 likes. Like the video. Appreciate you. Oh, and oh yeah, for those of you watching later, thanks for watching. Appreciate you guys for actually listening to my big face yap for all this time. Like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bells, all that cool YouTube shit. Appreciate you. Let's see. Jace is actually criminally underrated. Not for long. Not for long. Give it time. When you first start talking to a woman, when do you reach the point of just moving on when she's not reciprocating the effort as much? I want to know what the resistance you're getting is. And is it in person or is it on the phone? In person, you're talking to a woman and she's just like, acting like you're not there. Give it time. To keep talking to her for at least a good 2 to 3 minutes. And don't just keep talking to her, right? Don't keep asking her questions or trying to get something out of her. Just keep increasing the tension slowly over time. And then, you can fill up the space there with like a story, a very interesting story. And then from there, it should be able to spark something. If it doesn't, then be like, okay, it was nice to meet you, didn't mean to bother you, and then you bounce. That's if you're meeting her in person. And it's way better to do this in person. If you're doing this over the phone, and you're talking to a woman, right, and all you're getting is disinterest back, you've done something wrong. You have two options. Instigate, as in say something that drives the tension in the conversation up, or leave that woman alone, keep her on ice for 3 months, come back later. Those are your two options. Okay? Let's see. You can only like the live ones here, I think. Oh, fair enough. Go ahead. Gems, I need to record this and send this to Myron. We need you on Fresh and Fit. They need sound game. Let's see if they'll actually accept it though. Don't get it twisted. I do have a degree of respect for those guys because I know what it's like to be a first generation immigrant myself. I understand how much work it takes to get what they have. I'm very impressed with their work ethic. They just don't know what the fuck they're doing. Not when it comes to women. I think they would be amazing financial gurus. I really believe that. If they were to pivot and start doing financial guru shit, they're out of here. They're great. But this woman shit, leave that to me. Is it ever a good idea to ask her why she posts herself on certain platforms? Because maybe she sees it differently than us. I've had a girl tell me it was because she wanted me to see it and recognize her instead of everyone. But then when I told her that that's not how I see it, she understood and wanted to stop. Should I then still try to figure out why she wants to replace me? In that context, no. Like she clearly tells you. And by the way, that's a good point. You can definitely ask her why she does it, so that you can know. Because you'll literally meet girls like that all the time. Girls that only ever post when they're trying to get your attention. A few of my girls are like that. Like they'll literally only ever post when they're feeling like they're not hearing from me as often. Maybe I haven't visited them in a while. I want Jason to I want to blow Jason's mind. Here's me in a nice dress or something and post it. Hopefully Jason sees it. I've literally had a girl get mad at me that I didn't see her story on her Snapchat or her Instagram. Because it's only there for 24 hours and the 24 hours was up and I didn't see it, and she texted me like, I went through all this effort for you to see my dress and you didn't. And I'm just like, my bad. Like it happens like that. It is what it is. But yeah, you can definitely ask her, why do you even bother posting on social media? And then go from there. But here's the thing though, and I don't know if I mentioned this before. When a woman is with you and in love with you and obsessed with you, they rarely ever post anyway. Does that make sense? Like, the need to post, the need to get validation from other people is gone. So you can almost time the downside of your relationship perfectly with the way or number of posts she's putting up on social media. Unless she does it for a job. Usually when she's got like a boyfriend she's happy and safe with, you don't see them on Instagram or Snapchat at all. You don't. Literally. What's the point? They don't give a fuck. How do I avoid getting flaked on Tinder? I get numbers easily and even agree on a time and date, but because I'm busy, I can only meet them later in the week, and they flake by then. That's not a problem with logistics, though. Like, just so you know, it's a problem with the impact you're leaving. That tells me that these girls are finding better, more exciting options than you. You're not the guy. You're too boring for them. You're not inducing enough tension. You're not creating enough excitement and anticipation. You're not increasing their sense of urgency to see you. And then someone else is swooping in and doing your job for you, and then they go, decide to see that person instead of you, right? So work on being interesting with this human. Have you ever tried calling? Maybe this is what I like to do. I love to get on the phone before the date actually happens. It'll give me a chance to flirt with her over the phone so she can know what it's like to be with me in person. You flirt with her, you make her feel good, you make her laugh. You even make her feel a little judged. You make her feel like you're vetting her a little bit to increase the anxiety in the moment, so that she feels like, oh, I have to fucking impress this guy. All of a sudden, now she's looking forward to seeing you. Now she's like, oh shit, I have to see this guy. I want to make a good impression on him. I want to leave a lasting impression. I want to really understand and get to know him. I want to experience more of that good feeling I had with him over the phone. All right, so flirt with bitches on the phone. The flaking goes down by at least 87-88%. All right. Do you approach every day, bro? Honestly, I had a really good streak up until, I want to say, May. Probably before that too. I started falling off a little bit about April, May. But now I'll approach maybe once every 2 or 3 days, honestly. That's just what my life looks like right now, But yeah, I definitely advise you to approach every day, because if you're starting out, you need to train that muscle. I've been doing this for 11 years. I can afford to go, honestly, I can probably afford to go probably a full 3 months without, I'm never going to do that, obviously. But I could probably go a decent amount of time without approaching a woman, and I'd still be fine. Like, my game will be tight. I have girls in my life. My conversation and my social calibration will be decent, all that good stuff. But you got to keep the muscle pumping. You got to, what they say, if you don't use it, you lose it, right? Yeah. The same thing happens with game. So you got to train that muscle. Gotcha. Redpill guys lack accountability. They do, man. It's fucking gross. Can you ever be too dangerous and sexy, and how do you navigate that shit? Make her more confident, give her reassurance. It's the giving her reassurance. You're asking me the same question you've asked me in different ways before. It's the same answer as creating too much tension. Because being too dangerous and being too sexy is literally that. It's going to create that more tension, and it's going to make the relationship implode if you're not careful. And what's the solution to all implosion? Reassurance. So yes, girls I'm talking to girl I'm talking to right now started to tell me some really fucked up shit they did with other guys. Is that a sign I fucked up? Because shouldn't they try to hide it from me? They still chasing me, my attention, by the way. Oh nah, that's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. You have conducted yourself, maybe by accident, in a way to let her know that you're the kind of guy that she can be sexually open with. That's a good thing. You're gonna fuck her, by the way, in case that's not clear to you yet. Congratulations, you're going to fuck her. Um, that's not a bad thing. You're essentially, I'll put it like this. You're somewhere in the fuckboy zone. She probably doesn't see you as a boyfriend or anything. Good. You're in the fuckboy zone. So now you're the guy that she just feels like can handle any bad news about her. Because you're not going to see it as bad news. You're just going to see it as getting more information out of her. And that's not a bad thing. It's going to start out like that. And then the more they like you, then that side of them starts to shut down a little bit. When they realize, oh my God, I actually want this guy to be my boyfriend. Then they start, trying to pretend like they're saints all over again. It's very funny. But yeah, that's not a bad thing. She's going to fuck you now. Yay. So then Redpill followers suck at execution, but the books themselves are fire. Essentially, the books itself, the information is solid. It's the way you use the information that makes you either a bitch or a king. Does that mean that Redpill books are game, but people like Fresh and Fit are bums? Yeah, pretty much. When it comes to game, bums. A lot of Redpill men are out for revenge on women. Some secretly dislike all women. It's pitiful, for real. And it's very obvious. If you have game yourself and you deal with women, it's very obvious. These Redpill guys hate women. Fucking hate women. And it's like, on one hand, I understand it. When you're going through the pain and suffering women put you through, and you have no reference for it or understanding of it, it feels like it's only happening to you, and it feels like the world is coming down on you. But once you actually have experience with women and you have an understanding of the creature they are, it's so hard to do. It's so hard to see anything they do as truly malicious. They're just a bunch of very scared little children that go around trying to protect themselves and hurting men in the process. That's all it is. That's all that's happening. A lot of these guys aren't getting hurt because the woman was like, how do I hurt this man today? Like, that's not real. And even the women online that'll say like that's what they're doing, they're saying it for effect. They're saying it for shock value. They don't mean that shit. Women are too self-centered to care about how hurt they get you. They don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? If at all they care about hurting you, it's just to relieve themselves of anxiety somehow. That'll happen from time to time. But for the most part, they're just trying to protect themselves. They're trying to find ways to not get hurt. And sometimes, in their minds, the best way to do that is to hurt somebody else. It's just women. It's whatever. Let's see. Yeah, okay, when is it okay to have the manipulation convo? Because that's motivated her to try and manipulate me. That's funny. You can have it whenever you want. There's no time frame for talking about manipulation. It's okay. But for most people, I would say wait till you're at least getting her to the point of emotional investment where you're now consequential in her life, okay? The world is circle, bro. Sure. I was talking more about the workings of the world, but I feel you. So is the protector provider thing just a circle? Essentially, yeah. It is a circle. It is a beautiful, beautiful cycle. And so is infinity, right? Infinity looks like an 8 when you look at it from the side, but when you turn it around, it's a loop that goes up and down, right? Let's see. I need an analogy to explain how you can go from protector to provider by extreme. The guy who stays provider long enough is eventually gonna become protector. But he gotta hit the depths of provider though. You want to know the kind of guys that become protector types, like the pure protector types, right? It's the guys who stay so beaten and defeated by being a provider for so long that they get so pissed off they go to the extreme. What's that saying? Every man that's a player or a woman or whatever the fuck they say these days. Every man that's a womanizer started out. Every man that's an asshole or a fuckboy started out as a sweet young boy that got hurt by a woman, something like that, right? That's the exact point I was trying to make. Like it's literally that, literally. Like even if you listen closely, right? Listen to it's so weird too. Listen to incels, and then listen to guys like me that have bitches. Guys that live in abundance, ironically enough, sound just like incels. Like we sound the same when we're talking about women. That same lack of care about their feelings and how they want to be treated and shit. That same lack of prioritization of a woman or pedestalization of a woman. Incels have it. Motherfuckers with bitches have it. It's all the guys in the middle that are like little bitches that are like trying to, oh no, women, I'm a feminist, I'm a male feminist. The incel knows that they're not getting any bitches. So they have nothing to lose. They're gonna speak their mind and be honest with women. Guys like me who get bitches, we also know we don't have anything to lose because we can replace women whenever we want. So we're gonna speak our mind. We're gonna talk to women honestly. You see, we share the same level of honesty towards women. It's so weird. It's so fucking weird, but it's true. It's true. Why do you think whenever guys like me come out and the internet finds out about us, me, the RSD guys, Andrew Tate, what's the first thing they call us? Incels. And honestly, I used to be pissed about that, like, because it never made any sense to me. Like, really, you gonna see all my receipts and call me an incel? But then it made sense. Like, oh, the world is cyclical. It makes sense to me now. I'm not mad at it anymore because yeah, I sound just like an incel in a way of looking at it. I would say the same things they would say because I have the same level of honesty they have, or more specifically, they have the same level of honesty we have. Does that make sense? It's all one giant cycle. It's all one giant cycle. It's very weird. Let's see. Uh, Peer pressured bro into advanced laws. That's funny. Hey, what's going on, Bunny Boy? Is there anything that I should do different with her? No, just go about it the exact same way you would do any other girl. Her being a virgin doesn't make her more special. Trust me. What are all the incorrect beliefs virgin men have in game? Um, it's, it depends. It depends. I don't know. I would say okay. Let me speak like on average, like in general. I would assume most virgin men believe that being agreeable and nice are what gets you further ahead. Because when you're young and you have no experience with women and you listen to cartoons and movies and women, which is a bad idea, they'll all tell you that the best way to get women is to just be nice and just be yourself and other dumb shit like that. Um, but what they have to understand is why she'll want to fuck you is because she knows you're not someone that she can manipulate. Women don't get wet from men they can manipulate. They just don't. They don't get wet from men that they can comply that can comply to them or agree to comply to them. Right? So I guess tell that to every virgin guy and they should go from there. Don't tell women um okay, maybe that's not quite good advice. I was gonna say don't tell women you're a virgin. Maybe tell them you're a virgin, right? And be honest about it. Like be brutally honest about it. Because that is more impressive than anything else. What women are attracted to is courage, right? It's the ability to do and say things that are not easier uh or simple to say and do, right? So telling a woman like, you know what, I am a virgin, I've never had any sexual experience before. I mean I've had offers but never really went through with anything. And honestly, I'm not even sure that you're the right person to even do anything with, to be honest. You're a cool chick so far, but I don't know you like that. That'll give her a chance for her to chase your validation. Because again, that's what this game is about. Sex is not as big a deal as you think it is, Mr. Virgin, if you're listening to me. Um, this game is really just getting women to chase your validation. And ultimately, if a woman decides she wants to get naked with you, it's because she wants your validation. That's it. It's not a magical thing. It's not a weird hoogity boogity thing. It's not the wiggity woggity hocus pocus. Like, no, it's just they want your validation. They want you to validate them, and you have to find a way. And this is what game is all about: to make it so that you getting naked with her is the validation she's looking for. That's it. All right. Hey, what's going on, Prav, man? By the way, the water bending thing from yesterday was a super eye opener. Since I did that wrong a lot of times before, do you plan on making a video about it? I will, if you guys want me to. I will. I will. I will. It's a very nuanced video. It will not do well, but I'll make it. Whatever. Um, Lovely to be a mod here too. Indeed, indeed. Skirt, skirt, pow, pow. Indeed. Is that a drive-by thing? Skirt, skirt, pow, pow. I'm saying skirt, skirt twice. It should be skirt, pow, pow, skirt. Yeah, yeah. Okay. Delta girl responded and she said, "Stop messaging me." Good. Leave her alone. Leave her alone. You've done enough. Leave her alone. Give her a good few weeks. She'll be back to say something about you. Don't worry. It'll be either through you to you directly or through that other, the friend, the stud friend that we were talking about. But yeah, leave her alone. You've done everything you need to do. You left with power. Power always gets sought out and sorted after by women. So you just gotta give her time. YouTube go to live because you can go back if you missed a few minutes of the live. Oh, word! I did not know that. Okay, I'll give YouTube a point for that. That's dope. I didn't even know they could do that. You can just go back a few minutes. That's fucking awesome. It's fucking awesome. Kofi needed to be modded, I think, as well. Oh, hell yeah, he does. Mod Kofi. There we go. Alright, Kofi's modded as well. Your hair looks real good though, by the way. It's just in the bun. Thanks though. Brother, do you know Masak by chance? Who's Masak? Masak? I do know Masak, if that's what you're asking for. Pause. But yeah, I don't know who that is. Do you use Telegram? No. Would you ever be open to seeing Jesus as a prophet or only as God? He's both. Why are you limiting God, bro? He's both. He's both and all. Duh. How much would you say you read throughout the day? I'm more of a listener, to be honest. I'm an audiobook kind of guy. If I really want to get a particular piece of information from the book, I will use audiobooks and read the physical copy at the same time. Or digital copy, if that's what I have. But for the most part, I'm an audiobook kind of guy. And I would say probably a good combined 3.5 hours a day. Around there. Maybe 4. Yeah. I literally do everything and listen to an audiobook at the same time. Everything. Even when I'm playing games. Audiobook in the background. To answer the question in more detail, school will be for Jace's more important content. For Jace's more important content. Some we can't publish here. Yeah, that's what I said. Well done. Bro, where is your source? Years of experience. That's 1. 2, receipts. A lot of receipts. You must be new here. So go check out my receipts and then see if you can doubt me afterwards. But then 3, and this is more important. If you're asking me where my source is, it's not because you actually want to know where my source is. It's because you hate what you're hearing and you're looking for a way to poke a hole in it. Because if you liked what you're hearing, you would just accept it. Or at the very least, take it with a grain of salt and go test it out for yourself. But that's not what you're doing now, is it? Where's your source, bro? Shut the fuck up. Go and test what I'm saying. And go and cry when you find out I'm right. What, you think you're just gonna use your source, bro, for 11 years of experience? Go and fucking test it out. Oh no, your source. Get the fuck out of here. Anyway, yeah, bitches on TikTok literally be telling story times of how they let men get away. Let me see. I'm not bad. Let men get away with so much just because they're so physically attractive. Oh, there you go. See, they always talk about it. They always talk about that. Always. Nietzsche talked about this. Most of what men call morality is really cowardice. And we mask ourselves as virtuous because we can't handle our own evil. Shout out to Nietzsche, man. Shout out to Nietzsche. Shout out to fucking Nietzsche. Because that is exactly true. You can't be moral until you're powerful. So it's a rule of the universe, honestly. You cannot be good until you have the capacity to do evil. Every form of good or kindness up to that point is not actual good or kindness. It's just It's bending to the social order so you survive. It's self-preservation. That's it. All right. Uh, okay, Jace. The emotional inflictions. Is it one emotional infliction per set? How much can be done in one set? As many as you like. Just make sure you go back to being playful. Uh, so how do you counter the siren's bad behavior without overdoing it with the aggression and shit? You can use positive reinforcement to get her to focus on doing what you want her to do. That's what I said. Provider types are dangerous. Just lost one of my leases because of one. Really, they can be highly manipulative and are selectively moral. He claimed to be a Muslim and doesn't apply morality in business. Very true. Right? What's the most dangerous? By the way, I got to make a video about that. I saved the video from the internet, and I thought it was the funniest thing ever. It's a very short video of a guy calling himself an incel and crying to the camera and being like, I forget what he was saying. He was saying something that was honestly really sad for an incel to admit. Like, he's just lonely and he needs friends, blah, blah, blah. And then you go into the comments, and what's there? It's a bunch of women immediately vilifying him. Like, oh, look, this guy, it's look at his eyes. His eyes are creepy. I mean, I'm sure they don't know what the fuck they're talking about, but they were saying that. Look at his eyes, he's creepy. Oh, he just gives me bad vibes. His energy is off. There's something wrong with him. Like, all these things that they would never say to someone that wasn't an incel, right? But I found that so funny because women immediately vilify men who have to behave themselves. Immediately. It's a natural instinct for them. The moment you're a guy that has to behave yourself, they can't fucking trust you. They can't. They trust men like me who choose not to behave themselves. And then will behave himself from time to time. I'm the guy they trust more. Really think about that. I will be a piece of shit 90% of the time. And then 10% of the time, sure, I'll be nice. But they'll trust me over the guy that's like 100% of the time nice. And it makes sense, though. I'm not saying that to like, oh, women are bad. They just have bad judgment. No. They're very fucking correct about doing it like that. That is a good evolutionary feature or function of theirs. It's good to do that. Because why the fuck would you trust someone that is nice all the time and doesn't have the power to be evil? You want to know what happens when they have power to be evil? They become the most evil motherfuckers. If you want to watch a movie, I just thought about this. Thank you, Lord, for giving me inspiration. If you want to watch a movie that perfectly explains this dynamic, go and watch the Megamind movie. I am not even fucking bullshitting you. Who's the bad guy in that movie for everyone that's watched the movie? It's the nice guy that finally gets a superpower, that finally has the power of Superman. It's the nice guy. The guy that's just the good guy, the Jimmy Olsen character to the, lead actress, like it's not animated characters, but it's a Superman-like world. There's a Superman, there's a Lois Lane, there's a Megamind who I'm guessing is Brainiac, and then there's the Jimmy Olsen character, the guy who runs around with Clark Kent and Lois Lane as a junior reporter taking pictures, in this case holding a camera. He's a ginger, he's fat, he's short. He's not attractive at all, but not because he's just physically unattractive. He's unattractive because he's a fucking weasel. Right? He starts out in the show and in the movie being this, I'm just a nice guy. I'm just so nice. I'm nice. Look at me. I just want to take Lois Lane out to dinner. I can't hurt a fly. I'm not harmless at all. I'm the least harmless person. And then they pump him full of superhero serum. And he becomes the biggest fucking asshole because he finally has power. Right? Finally he has power. Now he's a fucking dick. Right? In the gym once, just to further make my point, right? There was this one kid that came to the gym once. Super nerdy kid. I call him kid, but he's actually older than me, but just has like a smaller stature. And it was like his third or fourth day in jiu-jitsu, and he was getting his ass kicked by another like white belt, but with more experience, obviously. Like a white belt with I think 3 stripes at the time on his belt. And he was getting his ass kicked. Like bad. Like, it was looking like a serious match. It wasn't looking like a sparring. So one of my gym mates looks at it and goes, "Hey, Jace, you want to go say something about that? Because that's like fucked up. That guy's new to jiu-jitsu. Why is so-and-so treating the new guy like that? He can't even like handle the transitions. He barely knows what he's doing. Look, his mouthpiece got knocked out. Like, what's going on there? He shouldn't be sparring that hard with someone that's new like that." And I'm like, listen, we both had a conversation with bro earlier. And by the way, the guy getting his ass kicked, we had a conversation with him earlier. He's like an investment banker or whatever the fuck. I said, remember how he was telling us about his job and how he was talking about his job? Yeah. He has a very competitive job. Very. It's very clear from the way he speaks that he's one of those underhanded slime balls in his job. I guarantee you, if you were to be in his world, investment banking world, he wouldn't show you the same amount of mercy that you're trying to show him right now. He wouldn't. Never feel sorry for the nerd getting his ass kicked. Trust me. This is not a fucking 90s movie where everyone comes together in solidarity for the nerd that's getting bullied by the jocks. No. If you reverse those roles and you give the nerd power over the jock, he's not all of a sudden going to become Jesus and have mercy. He's going to be even worse. Do you get it? Powerless men that are looking for an opportunity for power are the most dangerous motherfuckers on this planet. Most dangerous. Eliminate that threat wherever you find it. Do you understand me? Do you understand me? All right, I'm gonna start talking about that because I really needed to make that point. It's like so important. Because that's how they get you, right? They reel you in with the pity. Oh, he's powerless. Oh, he's formless. They'll slice your fucking throat, right? Like a Jerry Smith from Rick and Morty show type of character. What did Rick say about him? You're the greatest predator of all, Jerry. You're not a prey. You're a predator, and you lure your victim in with pity and weakness. That's what they do. They make you feel sorry for them. And they stab you in the back like fucking crazy from Supercell. Tell your mom I said Wagwan. Oh shit. Don't ever feel sorry for them motherfuckers. Never. Anyway, the fact that you believe in Noah and the flood puts your intelligence into question. I'm smarter than you. I'm smarter than you. Like, let's not... Listen. I'm smarter than you. Don't... Listen. I can't be right about everything I've been saying, and then in that one part, oh, let's now question... Shut up. I'm smarter than you. And the fact that you think that's how intelligence works shows I'm smarter than you. And since I am smarter than you, ask yourself, how can he be this smart and believe in something like that? No. Let it marinate. Let it marinate. Is it clicking? You getting it? Yeah? Alright, let's move on. I trust protector types much more. They're usually direct and congruent. I dislike Christians and Muslims who don't prioritize their belief system, but a circular system, SMH. I dislike, it's not even a Christian or Muslim thing. I just dislike anybody that doesn't have a core, that doesn't have a spine. Because I keep telling people, the most important trait to have as a human being is discipline, by far. Because that's the thing, like, that bleeds into everything else. Discipline. Whenever you're asking for someone to be something to you or for you, you're really asking them for a level of discipline. When you're asking women to be loyal to you, what do you mean by that? Like, what do you think you're asking for when you're like, I just want a loyal woman? You're asking her to show discipline for you, because it takes discipline to be loyal. When you're asking for friends or business partners that won't stab you in the back, you're not asking for someone that's just gonna blindly choose you every time. You're asking for someone that'll choose to ignore the better, easier path to what they might see as their victory by stabbing you in the back. So it's discipline It's a very important skill. It's not just discipline either. It's pain tolerance. A motherfucker that can't withstand pain can't be around me, bro. Because if someone twists your arm a little bit and says, "Where's Jason?" you'll talk. Because you're a spineless bitch with no pain tolerance. I can't trust that. I can't trust that. You gotta surround yourself with people that can withstand pain. Psychological pain, emotional pain, mental pain, physical pain. Pain with time and patience. Right? Pain of delegation, pain of leadership. The pain that comes with being yourself and speaking your mind. The pain of authenticity. If you can't deal with pain, ugh. That's where spineless people come from. It's the inability to withstand pain. That's where they come from. I'm just praying. I don't want to feel that pain. I'd rather just give up my friend. I'd rather just backstab my business partner. I'd rather just be disloyal. It's too hard. It's uncomfortable. Bitches. I can't respect that. And you shouldn't either. Feel me? What makes protectors alluring to women? Everything I just said. Risk-taking ability, disagreeability, tolerance for pain. My girl doesn't post anything except for nature or her hidden TikTok channel where she complains about loving me. That's funny. From an evil perspective, he protects the child and her from dying in the wild. Yeah, that's a good way to explain protectors. Shout out to your girl, by the way. My girl used to post during the first month of talking to me. I don't know if that was disrespect, a habit, marketing herself for, or loving me, or a combination of both. But yeah, she stopped now and she just posts me. No shit. See what I'm talking about? No shit. You see what I'm talking? And you didn't ask her now, did you? You didn't have to ask her to do that. A lot of your relationship will look like that. You gotta ask her to do this. No. If she's obsessed with you enough, she will naturally do some shit. Naturally. You don't gotta ask him to delete the fucking Hinge or that person's number or that fucking whatever. They'll do it. If they think it's important enough, they'll fucking do it. So if they're not doing it, you're not important enough. Solve that problem. Solve that fucking problem. You feel me? Your point is generally correct. However, remember, attention is like heroin for women. It's almost impossible for them to get attention from other men. Huh? Did I read that right? I had to take off my fake glasses for a second. It's almost impossible for them, not to get attention. Okay, all right. My bad. That was my fake glasses. I'm going to clean them out real quick. All right, let me carry on. All right. It's almost impossible for them not to get attention from other men. This case from posting on social media. Okay? I don't see how that takes away from my point, though. I'm just like, and? Yeah, so? The whole point of game and understanding how that works in tandem with female nature is understanding the fact that if you do it correctly, your attention becomes the highest currency in her life. Your validation holds precedent over all other forms of validation. Like you just heard Rio talking about his girl talking about, I posted this just so you can see it. She might have gotten thousands of eyes on her from all those posts. She's a beautiful girl. She's probably tens of thousands. But all she cared about was that one profile bubble. That's all she cared about. And that's all they ever care about is the one guy. Your attention should feel like the combination of the attention of 30 million other men. That's what it should feel like for her. Like, it should feel incomplete even if she has a billion fucking likes on that post, but no like from you. That's the whole point of the game. So saying, like, mentioning other men like they somehow matter? Yeah, miss me with that bullshit. No, that's not how it works. You're missing the point entirely. And as for women having, like, the need for attention, that only happens when they haven't found that one guy. Once you become that one guy, please, they couldn't give a fuck less about everybody else. They don't care. They don't care. Because the other men just aren't as consequential to her as you are. Assuming you know what you're doing. Right? Keep that in mind. Putin or Dostoevsky, choose your fighter. Oof. So I'm gonna say Putin because he's probably killed people. Uh, how do you approach a two set? Uh, you approach the two set. You talk to one. You get her to introduce you to the other one, or you just approach both of them at the same time. I usually like to approach both of them at the same time. The openers are better when you approach both of them at the same time. Plus, it's a better way for you to gauge what's going on. So, if you walk up to a two set, what I like to do is I say, "Are you guys sisters?" I think that's the funniest opener to a two set because usually it's girls that don't look alike. Or even better if it's like a multiracial group, like a two set, three set, four set. Are y'all sisters? And I'm pointing to like a white girl, a black girl, and a Hispanic girl. That's fucking hilarious, right? I don't know. You guys look like twins. I'm just messing with you. I'm Jason, by the way. What's your names? Boom. You're in the set. Now it's just a matter of picking out the one you want and isolating. Oh, I like your this. Oh, I'm gonna compliment your that. Who's this girl, by the way? She's a little off. Do you like to? This your friend? This someone you hang out with? Oh, okay, that's cool. They said I should say hi to you, just for the sake of being polite, but whatever. Anyway, go back to talking to the girls you don't want. Make friends with them. Like, be nice, be cordial, be complimentary, all that good stuff, and keep ignoring your target. And then, after a little bit, then you can be like, listen, I've been ignoring your friend a little bit too much. You mind if I just take her a little bit away and go talk to her for a second? Yeah. And then you can isolate. She has or has had quite a low level of discipline at first. Exactly. They always do. When I told Monica I was a virgin, it backfired. But that was right before you made that video on neediness ruining compliance. So I completely messed that up. Yeah, I think it's more the neediness of the compliance that messed you up, not even the fact that you're a virgin. So, I like your glasses. Oh, thank you, sir. I appreciate you. um, do women like big asses? No diddy. Shit, they must. Because I got a fatty myself. Pause, of course. Heavenly pause. Infinite pause. Domain expansion. Infinite pause. Pause, of course, pause. But yeah, I think they do. I think they do. I got an African butt. I don't have a choice. It's fine though. That's where all the speed comes from. Do you know a good routine for mixing weightlifting with whatever specific martial art you're training in? How many days a week for each? I would say if you want to do weightlifting, do it as part of your conditioning before you train or after you train. Your training should consist of learning technique slowly, speeding it up, sparring as in using the technique in real time, and then you should ideally be doing some more conditioning stuff after that. That way, you can put some weightlifting in there. Besides, it's better to train your muscles with weightlifting and powerlifting and all that stuff after you're done with like training and sparring in like MMA, kickboxing, jiu-jitsu. Why is it better after? Because your muscles are already tense and strained. So that's a one fast way to break your muscles down even further, and two, get your conditioning through the roof. Right? So something to keep in mind. I think some people say they can do it before or after. I don't know. Just figure it out. But you can combine these things is what I'm trying to say. If you have to do them separately, then you can also, allocate days for them. Nothing wrong with that. But always remember to have rest days there and though. Like make sure you're resting at least one day a week. Let's see. I gotta remind myself it's a good thing to be a villain, even when women fight that frame. Could you give me a mindset or analogy for that? Let me put it like this. You being a villain is why her pussy gets wet. It's a very simple way to think about it. If you stop being a villain, her pussy starts drying up. Right? So that's enough motivation for you right there. Simple as that. There you go. What's your advice for someone that gets casual in short-term relationships easily with the baddest chicks, but can't get long-term relationships? It's because you're not demonstrating parts of you that are human. All right? You're not demonstrating the other side to you, the more human, more vulnerable side of you. You're not building enough comfort with these girls. You're fucking them easy, but they're not seeing you after you're done fucking them as a guy that they can actually spend time with afterwards. And by the way, you'll be surprised how many habits you have that are fucking you over. When you're done messing with these girls, what are you doing? I bet you anything you're finding a way to get out. Oh, I fucked her. I want to leave now. Right? I always tell guys, if you want to build comfort with women very quickly, The most important thing to focus on is the post-sex time you spend with her. Every time or all the time you spend with her pre-sex, she's just gonna assume you're spending with her to get the sex. All the time you spend with her after you've already nutted, that tells her you like her, which makes her feel more comfortable with you. Does that make sense? So yeah, keep that in mind. You heard of Mr. Man in action? Nope. The overcompensating provider is essentially the connection of the full circle. Yes. By the way, Austrian painter, protector, provider. Protector. Protector. Like a pure one. Pure protector. Plus, he was mostly on drugs anyway. Did he not being a protector, but right on the edge of the circle is a perfect example? Yes. I think Mustache Guy is the same. Or Stalin. Stalin, I would say, is provider, though. Overcompensating provider. But protector type, mustache, German painter, yeah. Yeah, protector type. Just from the way he conducted himself around a bunch of things. You know? He had grit long before he became the Führer. Does that make sense? He had balls for a long, long time. So, yeah, protector. I would argue both Jerry and Megamind are mischaracterized by society. Jerry's the name of the I call him Jimmy Olsen character, but is that him? Is that his name? Yeah. Let's see. Damn, you guys really left me hanging in the group chat. Could have at least told me he's like, aw, Asami. Am I the only one who finds Mustache Guy's rise to power extremely inspirational? I'm gonna put it like this. It's very impressive what he was able to do. Am I saying he used his power for the right things? Absolutely not. But as far as a rags to riches story, I'm sorry, that's a good one. That's a good one. There's a few of these stories where I'm like, these guys are pieces of shit, but damn, they went through some shit. I can respect it. They went through the process. They went through a lot of pain. I can respect it. You know? Mustache Guy is one of them. Who was I just thinking about before I said that? Because there's another person that's on that list. Oh, the guy, I forget his name. The guy that invented Silk Road. I forget his name. There's a documentary of his entire like grind to the top of the dark web. That this guy Jake Tran here on YouTube, shout out to Jake Tran. He made a video about it. Every time I want to get inspired, I'm not even kidding. I'm not even kidding when I say this. Every time I want to get inspired, or I'm like I've hit a plateau, I'm stuck somewhere. I need to tap into my divergent thinking part of my brain. I go and watch that autobiography. I'm not even kidding. I literally do, because like the way he did it is so fucking impressive. All the things that he needed to do, how long he had to wait for certain things to happen, the patience, the grind, the intelligence he had to show, and all for something that he didn't even know would work, or as well as it eventually did work. Like, fucking brilliant, bro. Fucking brilliant. Like, yeah, that's impressive. That's impressive. I'm not gonna lie. Another good grind story, go watch Snowfall. Yeah. It's based off a real story, so that's definitely inspirational too. Again, piece of shit, but you know, I rarely isolate a girl. I just take the contacts of all the girls and then just text the one I like. Is that fine as well? Nah, not as good, because it's better you isolate, because it creates a ramp for the actual meeting her later. Does that make sense? Like, it lets her know you like her to some degree, which will give her even more like oomph, like a pep in her step, to know she has something over her friends. And that in itself is the motivation to see you again. You know what I mean? If I can get a footage of me approaching a woman, could you give me your opinions? I do have old footage, but it's just kind of cringy. It's fine. Go ahead. I'll do it. It's fine. Send it to my IG or something. Would you build more muscle if you condition before weightlifting? conditioned before weightlifting or after. I don't know if there's a difference before or after, actually. I know there's a difference, but I don't know if the difference is muscle size. But I wouldn't worry about muscle size, though, if you are training martial arts. You're not a bodybuilder, are you? So don't look for muscle size. Look for muscle efficiency and like, dexterity. You want to make sure that the muscles you're training are getting more effective or more efficient for the tasks you want them to achieve in martial arts. That's what you need. Besides, when you train martial arts, you're naturally gonna get leaner. Like the best way to get leaner is martial arts, by far. I don't care which one, but especially the grappling ones. Holy shit! And here's the science behind it, by the way. They make you activate more parts of your body than any other type of thing you can do, and at the same time, like grappling makes you move your thigh muscles just as aggressively as you move your arm muscles, just as aggressively as you move your back muscles. And sometimes you're doing all that shit at the same time. You're burning so many fucking calories when you're sparring. Like one 8-minute sparring session burns more calories than an hour on the fucking treadmill. Did you know that? One 8-minute sparring session burns more calories than an hour at a steady baseline on the fucking treadmill. Not even kidding. So you're naturally going to lose water like that. You're going to lose fat like that because you're burning. Like, it's such a high activity thing to do. And especially if you're doing it every fucking day. I have literally seen this happen more times than I can even care to count. Fat dude walks into the gym. 3 months later, he's got a better six-pack than me. I have seen this happen with my own two eyes. I have seen this happen over and over and over. I've literally seen a bitch go from chubby, I don't want to talk to her, can barely remember her name, to now she's one of the baddest chicks in our gym. Not even kidding. Not even kidding. So if you want to get lean, you're going to use martial arts, and it's going to be great. It's going to be awesome for you. You feel me? You will, like, the first thing to go, by the way, water weight. Like that. There's no chance to retain excess water in your body once you're grappling or once you're kickboxing. There's just no chance. No fucking chance. You feel me? I feel like creating obsession happens by having extreme opinions, being disagreeable and having massive value in positive and negative emotions, and letting both be harsh and apologetic. If you do that for long enough without expecting anything in return, she will literally see you as a god, and you will win infinite compliance into perpetuity. Well done. Add that to the fucking dark game script. Well done. Let's see. How you doing? Rain the queen? Is that a chick? All right, welcome, chick. Don't get too offended when you hear something you don't like. You would be a great guest on the whatever podcast. I would eat all those motherfuckers alive. Do not even do that to them. Don't even. Oh, let me tell you something. If there's one thing I hate, it's a fucking grifter. You understand what I'm saying? Like, a lot of people in my industry do it for the sake of, I want more money, I want more this, I want more notoriety and attention. I've actually dedicated myself to this shit like a long time ago, and I've been at this for a long fucking time. Like, I understand things about this that most people just will never know. So when I see motherfuckers like the whatever podcast literally just stealing the Fresh and Fit formula and getting fat off of it, literally getting fat off of it, man, you better hope I don't run into that fucking... You better hope I do not run into those guys. You better hope. You kidding me? Anyway. Nah, Jerry from Rick and Morty. Yeah. Oh, I see. Yeah. Jerry from Rick and Morty. I thought Jerry was the name of the ginger guy. But, yeah, Jerry from Rick and Morty, little bitch. Little bitch. Megamind himself is not like the Jerry from Rick and Morty. Well, I guess he was, but he ascended. He became a better person by the end of it. What's the most embarrassing you've gotten during an approach? Oh, the most embarrassing or embarrassment? Is that what you meant? I'm gonna read it like that and see if it makes sense. What's the most embarrassment you've gotten during an approach? Okay, that makes more sense. And what was your mindset during the time that got you through that and continued the set? I don't What would be the most embarrassing? Um, I've had some where the girls are just like, don't talk to us. I had some where the girls are, I don't know if I would point out a most embarrassing, to be honest. Because I've had some harsh rejections, but never anything crazy. Like I've heard of guys going, a girl hit me, and I'm like, really? They're usually not that bad or that evil, you know. So, uh, what would be the most embarrassing? I don't know. I've had sets where I learned the most. I've had sets where it's like there's some sets that stick out to me because I can remember like a problem that I ran into or a certain uh uh you know shit test that I ran into that I couldn't pass in the moment, or some kind of question I was supposed to answer a certain way that I didn't answer correctly. Those kind of sets like stick out to me. Like I'll give you an example. There's this one set where I literally had two of the girls in the set fighting each other. So I was just like, oh, okay, it's whatever, because the one of the girls in question was the girl that I wanted. So it was like in my mind at the time, I was thinking, oh, this is perfect. This was gonna be my excuse later to get her to ditch her friends for me. Here's what happened that I didn't expect. Some way, somehow, they decided to take their negative energy towards each other and point it towards me, and I became the bad guy, and I was essentially just cussed out of that set. And I remember for like literal days, I was like thinking over that over and over and over again, like, fuck, what the fuck happened there? What happened? Was it when I said this or when I said that? Or when... Basically, what actually happened, what I came to find out later, was that I began to instigate their fighting. I began to instigate the little disagreement they had. Don't do that. Don't do that. Here's what I've learned. If you, for whatever reason, notice two girls in the set are fighting, and one of them is the girl you want, always find a way to play the role of reconciliation guy. Like, be Jesus Christ, right? No, come on. You guys are good friends. Play that role. Here's what'll happen. You're not gonna get them to be good friends, but they will naturally escalate so much that she goes with you and they go their separate ways. That's what'll happen, and that's what you should do. And then when she comes with you, she's gonna, talk shit about her friends to you, um, just dump on you emotionally, and again, just keep playing the role of, oh, it's fine. Listen, I get it. They're still your friends, though. Just give it a few hours. Call them back. They love you. They have the best thing for you. And then always tie it back to, you see, even as angry as they are, this is genius. Listen to this. Even as angry as they are with you, they still made sure that you're with me because they trust me to keep you safe. So in that statement, you've killed two birds with one stone. One, you've made her see you as someone she can be safe with. Two, you've made yourself look better because you're bigging up the friend and using you being a safe guy to compliment the friend and make her judgment and friends looks better. Does that make sense? So it's like almost three birds with one stone, really, right? So you do that. What happens naturally after that is, oh, so you were such a sweet guy. Do with this information what you must. Let's see. Are those camera glasses? Not these ones, no. Uh, Asami, I wouldn't take this kind of disrespect. Hey, who we instigating in the? Because Asami didn't. Oh, that's crazy. That's crazy. Uh, the autobiography. I don't even remember the guy's name. The guy that created the dark website called Silk Road, where people would go and illegally buy illegal narcotic substances. Let's see. Mustache guy. No. Damn, they're really going at it. But every time I check, I already read that one. Did I? Every time I check the group chat and scroll up, guys got paragraphs, and I got so interested and start reading them, and then I forgot about the live and never make it. My bad. Let's see. They going at Asami in the group chat. Asami. They say Ryu is bitching you. That's crazy. I wouldn't stand for that. I wouldn't. Mm. Damn, Ryu, he said stop trying to game guys with game techniques, Ryu. If you want to game guys so bad, I'll get you an invitation to the Diddy party. Asami, you ate, you did, but at the same time, it's like, how would you be able to have access to an invitation to the Diddy party? That's mad sus, my boy. Hold on. Now I gotta put on the Diddy shades real quick. uh, take that, take that, take that, take that. That boy said he's trying to get an invitation to the Diddy party. Uh, can I create that over text, theoretically speaking, by texting stuff like, despite your goofiness, you were the most interesting girl that day, and then hit her with a random compliance test? You can, but it's just better to do that in person. Well, let's go, Pookie. Give me my plus one. Well done. Well, good way to deflect the shit test, Ryu. It was my birthday today. It would mean the world to me if you can say my name. Oh, no, thank you. Your name is a gay joke. Sorry, can't catch me with that one. I'm always suspicious whenever someone says it's my birthday today. Immediately, I know you're lying. Immediately, I know you're lying. Speaking of girl, wasn't there that one girl that asked to be in the group chat? Oh yeah. You know what? That's my bad actually. I gotta go check my messages again. Uh, Jay's gonna turn whatever podcast into a Genghis Khan village plowing. Listen, man. You know me, man. I'm a leader. Those girls run into me, they're gonna find out very quickly they need a leader in their lives. Hey, Ryu, let's jump. Philip. Stop trying to jump, Philip, man. Stop it. Let's see. Damn, y'all going at it. Who called me Captain? Captain Diddy is crazy. The diddler, the captain, is crazier. Damn. Philip coming like Tory Lanez with 7 positions in 70 minutes? That's ridiculous. Philip, I wouldn't stand for that. I just wouldn't stand for it. Oh, what's going on, King Henry? How you doing, man? Thoughts on SR? What the fuck is an SR? I have no idea who that is. SR, SR, SR. I don't know who that is. Let's say you're at an event or a bar and you approach a woman. The vibe is cool, but another guy comes into the picture. How do you handle the situation when another guy hops in the set? Oh, you mog him. You mog him. You start talking to the guy directly, and you start talking to him about what you want to talk about. This is how you mock guys correctly. You start talking to him about things about you that are intimidating. Again, not in like a braggy type of way, like I do this, like just find a way to naturally lead the conversation into something that you are or you do that he can't compete with. It's very simple. The more subtle, the better. The more playful, the better. So when it's my birthday, you won't believe me either. Nah, it's just you, Pookie. It's fine. Jace, is it worth learning a trade like plumbing? It's actually a really good trade, but not for the money. The money is cool, but it's not for the money. It's for the discipline it teaches you. The traits like discipline and patience and all that stuff like that. That's what plumbing is good for. So if those are your options, go for it, man. It's good. Um, Ryu, I'm black from the waist down. You won't be able to walk. Damn. I thought what? Pause. Oh, semen retention. Okay, I think it's useless for two reasons. One, on a biological level, your body tries to find ways to dispel sperm every 7 to 14 days anyway, so you can't really retain sperm. It's not possible. Two, not coming doesn't increase your testosterone. It's not how you increase your testosterone. You increase your testosterone by putting enough of a workload on your body for it to be able to produce more testosterone, right? Your body produces testosterone when it feels like it needs to, when it feels like it has a heavy workload on it, both physically and psychologically, when it feels like it needs to produce more testosterone depending on the circumstances you're in. That's how you increase your testosterone. Third, retaining your semen doesn't increase your discipline around women. That's another big, probably the biggest misconception. What you think? Oh, I'm not gonna nut for a while, therefore I'm gonna have the ultimate discipline around women now. No, because the day a woman actually like tickles your balls a little bit, you're done. You're over. It's wraps. The only way to get better at something is do that thing over and over and over again. You want to get better discipline around women, be around women more, and then build your discipline that way. You don't tell someone that wants to get better at basketball, don't go to the basketball gym, right? Well, okay then. If you go too far in that similar retention shit, you will become a fucking social recluse. Mark my words. So yeah, it's completely useless. Completely useless. Let's see. You see, everyone was targeting me, but got these guys to beef each other, divide and conquer. Oh, no, that's not me. The women get off if they see you in pain. No, they might feel a little power depending on the context. They might feel it might get to their head a little bit, but is it something that they like and they thrive for? No, not necessarily. Ryu, I mean, after I'm done with you, you'll be white inside. That's crazy. Pause though. Uh, let's see. You're black everywhere is crazy. I'm glad he understands who he's messing with. Uh, you're a gay painter, buddy? That's crazy. What about no fap and corn? The best way to get over corn is to redirect your attention somewhere else. May I suggest real women? You know, uh, corn isn't good for you if you're not using it for educational purposes. And yes, you can use corn for educational purposes, but most men are too caught up in watching porn to use it that way. But yeah, you can use it for educational purposes. If you can't do that, then just focus on real girls, man. Focus on real girls. What was the other one? No fap. Isn't no fap semen retention? Isn't that the same thing? Oh, okay. Like actually, like not actually jacking off. Okay, cool. Again, focus on real girls, because you won't have the time to do that if you got real girls in your life. So, there you go. Let's see. All right, I gotta bounce. I gotta go. I've been here for 2 hours and 30 minutes. That is more than enough game for you guys today. All right, I gotta go. I gotta bounce. The boys are still arguing in the chat. I'm about to end that shit right now. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. Please use everything I tell you in these lives to your advantage. Please, 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 please practice your game. Okay? If you wanna learn the secrets of self-belief so you can have confidence to approach women, I have an entire free course on that called Self-Belief. Link in the bio. If you want to learn how to completely incorporate a new woman into your life from scratch, it's called The Interview. It's a course that I have produced. Link in the bio for that as well. If you want to get on the phone with me, schedule a call, make an appointment, all those links are in the bio, the description. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. And please, for the love of God, make sure that you're actually practicing your game. I know I repeat this all the time, but please practice your game. All right? Okay. To me, just your favorite scientist. Do with all of this information